Today's episode of PTG is brought to you by the one and only Trans Labs that brought the world two amazing products. First off, Transfuse, which is a hydration multiplier, and most recently, they just dropped Transcend, which is a nootropic energy formula. No matter what you use, when you choose Trans Labs, you are going to be boosted and you are going to be ready to charge the paintball field and win out there. With Transfuse, that is a premium rapid hydration multiplier and immunity fortifying formula scientifically designed to replenish you at the cellular level. And they use all natural ingredients in this product. We've got zinc, we've got vitamin B6, we've got vitamin C, sodium, potassium, choline, and it is an amazing way to make sure that you're hydrated and prepared to play top-level paintball. When it comes to Transcend, that is a premium nootropic energy formula designed to increase cognitive performance, elevate mood and clarity while supporting long-term brain health, and it's going to leave you feeling great with no crash or jitters. It's one of the only products in the nootropic space backed by research studies to ensure the formula is correct for optimal performance. It is more potent than anything on the market, and it will keep you charged and ready to win out there. I take 1 scoop, but if you're stimulant sensitive, take a half scoop, and if you want that LFG dose to launch to the moon, dump 2 scoops in your drink and you are going to be flying down that paintball field. Comes in 2 delicious flavors, Baja Blast and Skittles Candy for the Transcend. And for the Transfuse, they have 2 new flavors as well, Pineapple Express and Hawaiian Punched. So if you get a chance, head over to translabs.com. That's TRANZLABS.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME and you'll get 10% off. If you subscribe to a monthly delivery service, you also get 10% off as well. So you can take advantage of 20% off on these products. Head over to translabs.com and give it a go. This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram, @LoneWolfPB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community.
What's going on, PTG fam? Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. This episode is a very special one. We have a ton of awesome guests. We have RyGuy. Most importantly, we have Kieran. He is one of the most amazing young men in the sport of paintball. Very happy to have him on the show and share his story with us. And then we have Kailyn from Inspired Paintball. We also have a full segment of answering the Discord questions from the PTG Nation community. It's absolutely phenomenal. Great conversation. And you know what? I'm going to shut up now because I'm wasting your time. We'll see you in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys, though. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
Yes, sir, Ski PTG Nation. We're back at it again with another one. Another one.
Bring it in.
Bring out the lobster. Bring out the lobster.
Somebody bring the surf and turf, please.
How's it going, Marchie? It's good to see you.
Good. Oh, man. Surf and turf reminds me of when we were in Mexico a week ago with the lady. Oh, my gosh. They had these surf and turf sushi rolls that we would go to this like one restaurant for. They just had tapas and they had surf and turf nigiri. Oh, premium. My goodness. It was like filet mignon slices. I forgot if I talked about this on the last show or not, but the filet mignon slices,
give us
bro.
A taste.
Oh, my gosh. It was unbelievable. It was so good. These little filet mignon slices with like a garlic aioli over the rice.
Yeah.
Die for. Yeah, we went like multiple nights just for that. It was so good. So good.
South of the border, the food is always hitting down there. It's good stuff.
Facts.
Yep.
100%.
Yes, sir. We just had the holidays. We had Thanksgiving, and we've been running around and still playing paintball. I was actually at Capital Edge Paintball for the anniversary,
Nice.
the weekend after World Cup, and just been running around. How was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was great. We actually went to my girlfriend's parents' house. Her parents are awesome. A lot of fun. We played some cornhole. Had a good time doing that. Ate lots of food. I think I stuffed myself this Thanksgiving more than just about any other, which is crazy. I mean, it's remarkable because her parents sent us home with just a ton of leftovers. So not only did we eat a lot
That's
there,
the
but we
best
got
part.
home and yeah, it was the best part. It was all the leftovers. I just like kept eating. I mean, I was sick. I was actually sick.
I'm right there with you.
And it felt great. It felt great, Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really good, man. It was good. Can't complain.
Yes. Yeah, ours was too. We just hung out with the in-laws and just pretty low key hanging out with the family, eating a bunch of food and watching football. Got demolished by the PTG Discord. We have our own PTG fantasy, and this last week was brutal. It's been a crazy season for fantasy football. It's been wild.
Yeah, it has been a crazy season for fantasy football. That's right. I'm like clawing my way back in the PTG league. There's been so many injuries. It's so tough. And it's funny, this year I was like, okay, I'm going to give it one good old fashioned, like nice, solid try. Previous years was like a little lazy. It takes a lot of time. It's really time consuming, like to keep up with the players and the waiver wire and injuries it weather in certain locations, all the details that
Yeah.
like come into play. It's wild. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of research, a lot of studying. And, I've never really like went all in this year at the start of the year before the draft. I was like, okay, I'm going for it this year. I want to see like, if I really apply myself, can we get this thing done? And we're in 2 different leagues. Well, 3 actually. I'm in a league. Obviously we're in the PTG league, and then I'm in an NXL league. That league's kind of a funny, like, group of misfit individuals. It's like me, Dalton, Al Fernandez, Keith Brown, the Boyan brothers, Tim Brusselback, Corey Field, Corey
squad.
Hall. Yeah, it's like a funny, odd group, but it's super cool. I mean, everyone in there is obviously awesome. We're all buds, and it's great to play fantasy football. I'm second in that league right now. Currently have like the most overall points, which is pretty dope. Things are looking good over there, but it's fragile because I have no bench. If any one of my players gets hurt,
Yeah.
I've already had so many injuries. If any one of my like studs gets hurt in this final run here, I'm toast. So that's a little bit of a bummer. I kind of learned a lesson, like moving forward, you really have to, you gotta be ready for these injuries, and like having the handcuff players is super important, which I never even thought of before. And then in the PTG league, I feel like my team's pretty stacked, but there's other stacked teams in our league too. Like Stevie has a insane roster. His team is nuts. Nick, his Gallimore, his team is nuts. Your team's actually really good. It's like, I feel like in our league, there's like 4 mega teams, which is crazy because in all the other leagues, I'm like, no one has this many players. And so, unfortunately, I think some of the PTG members kind of, they didn't draft the greatest. And so some teams are just a little more stout. But it's competitive and it's a lot of fun. We have a blast with that.
That's the best part. Yeah, it's just
100%.
a ton of fun, man.
Yeah,
We have so much fun. All the banter in the Discord and everybody having a good time in there. Shout out to the Discord. We got a bunch of Discord questions that we'll dive into here in a little bit.
Can't wait for
It's going to be an awesome show in that regard.
Yeah, 100%. This show is kind of supposed to be geared towards, the Discord and having questions, but we have some amazing surprise guests, which are going to brighten up the show a bit. So I'm excited for that as well.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, it's going to be really cool because the Discord, everyone in there has asked some great questions that are really thought provoking, and I'm going to enjoy, getting to respond to those.
Yeah, and they always do. That's, the community is second to none.
Yes.
Always showing out, always showing love for each other. We even have the mascot, Pappy the Goat, is going to be making an appearance here later on in the show. And anybody that was at World Cup, I'm sure, saw the goat running around, showing love for PTG. And we're just super grateful for everyone's support. It's amazing.
100%. Yeah, seeing the goat out there was epic.
Yeah.
Back to fantasy football really quick. So I want to talk about my third league, and if anyone can relate to this. So the third league is with my older brother, his sons, and like some of their friends. and it's I'm getting murdered in that league. And so I actually that's where we went after visiting with Sahara's parents. We went up, they live in Thousand Oaks. So we went up there to hang out for the weekend. Then we actually ended up coming back for Oliver's one-on-one thing. I want to talk about that too. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's super cool. Super cool. But this league is a season-long super flex so it's essentially a 2 QB league, no defense, no kickers. There's no weekly winners. It's whoever has the most points at the end of the year. And oh my gosh, I thought for sure that still like the same drafting rules apply. It's also a 6 points per passing touchdown for the QBs rather than like ours is 4. Most is 4, I think, in regular leagues. So I drafted a running back first. I think I was like the 4th pick, and I see QB, and I went Jonathan Taylor. I'm like, there's a ton of QBs that are all serviceable. They all like the drop off isn't that far. Dude, it totally hosed me. Because then I saw after I did Jonathan Taylor, everybody was QB. And by the time it got back to me, Derek Carr was like the only decent QB. And so I grabbed him. And then the next round, I got Baker Mayfield, which was terrible. He was literally like the last QB on the thing. And I'm just getting absolutely slaughtered because Jonathan Taylor has been injured for most of the year. And then my QBs are absolute trash. And I see now the scoring is like these QBs are having like 45-point weeks, and my QBs are getting 15, 20 points. If that, I've literally had my QB get 2 points because I'm like trying to scour backups. I got PJ Walker. It's been terrible. It's been a total disaster. And then Jonathan Taylor has hardly done anything. So I'm getting murdered. And that's like the most expensive one is like a $500 buy-in.
Yeesh.
Yeesh, I know. I'm getting slaughtered. And I realized I'm like, okay, so now I realize next time you got to go QB first. You got to make sure you get yourself a stud QB in a league like that, where it's different in our league. Like in our league, you wait until, in most leagues, you wait until like the 5th or 6th round to get a QB. Unless you're going for like Mahomes or Josh Allen, you wait, you do not spring for a QB. That's kind of rules and regs because the drop off in RBs, but I don't know. Who knows? One of them could get hurt, and the gig is up. So,
yeah, straight up.
Yeah,
and like you said, you got to cuff some people on the bench that are going to be able to come through with these injuries because we've seen just insane amount of injuries on this season in particular.
Yeah. I think I have the most fun in the PTG one though, because we have a separate channel in the Discord for PTG Fantasy. Oh, by the way, Archie said next year he 100% wants a spot in the PTG Fantasy Football League. I feel
dialed
like,
in.
I feel like we got to get him in there. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just fun. It's fun. We have the whole channel in there, and everybody, there's good banter. It's good fun.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
We actually have the GOAT meeting. If you're listening to this right now, the GOAT meeting is tonight. So if you want to be involved with the GOAT squad, we're going to be having a huge party tonight and running a racket.
Wednesday night. Yeah. This might release tonight. I usually start editing tonight as in Tuesday. We're recording this Tuesday. But so GOAT meeting Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, right?
That's correct. Yep. And we have the Road to World Cup challenge. We do physical challenges as well. We've had the bike challenge, the sauna challenge, and this one was kind of a mashup of a bunch of different exercises. And we're going to be blessing the Road to World Cup challenge winner with a custom Marcelo and Tyler Harmon jersey, and he's going to be winning both of those jerseys for doing such a tremendous amount of work in that whole process for the Road to World Cup challenge.
Yeah, this one was a lot more grueling, and we definitely had less participation than the previous ones, but you know what? That was kind of the point of it. World Cup is not supposed to be easy. World Cup is one of the hardest events of the year, and we always, at PTG, we always talk about trying to push ourselves and each other and everyone around us like to the fullest. So we're like, you know what, let's put together like a serious challenge. This was the workout routine that I was doing leading up to World Cup, so it was, it was not easy by any means. We did make it flexible. Really. We just wanted to see effort, see that you guys were trying to manipulate. And there was a lot of creativity. One of the things we were doing was like the backward sled pulls. And I know one of the members got like a tire and a chain and was doing that instead of a sled outside, and so there was a lot of creativity that I think you get bonus points for, actually, because you're making something work out of nothing. And it was cool. I'm glad for the people that were engaged in it. I hope they benefited and try to carry those practices into next year.
Well, even if it's just one person that it helps their life, right?
Totally.
That's the difference, and we're just here to be a catalyst for, inspiration and getting, mind, body, soul, getting proper, making sure that everyone's working out, having fun. And we have so many different threads in the PTG Discord. You can go to the website ptgpaintball.com and check it out there. It's just a great time. You click the Patreon link and become a member, and we have a ton of
PTG
fun
Nation.
inside of the PTG Nation. It's
PTG
crazy
Nation.
yeah.
Yes.
And like we said, we're having the GOAT meeting Wednesday. If you're listening to this on Wednesday, it's tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific. And we can't wait to see the GOAT squad in there. And then I think we should dive into just kind of a little recap of the World Cup. Obviously, Cup was a couple weekends ago, but just showing love for all the teams that prevailed out there. We had, the WNXL semi-pro moving into pro, the youth division, the veterans division as well. And there was a lot of fun stuff going on out there.
Yeah, I totally agree. There was a lot of action, and it was, again, I actually was on the phone with Tom Cole earlier today. More exciting stuff for next year. I love that Tom he gets a bad rap sometimes, but man, he's so fantastic for our sport. He really is. As somebody who I like to think that I can get a decent read on people's intentions. I just think Tom is a great dude and is just always trying to make this sport better. He truly is,
Of course.
It's hard to get everything right. People make mistakes, but I'll tell you what, the NXL, and I told him again on the phone today, the NXL kicked ass in making sure that we could have World Cup. Like the photos that I was getting, I'm sure you and your team were as well. Was it Wednesday night?
Yeah.
No, Thursday. Yeah. Of the event. I was like, holy smokes. Like booths. I mean, it was a disaster, truly, I mean, it was
they kicked ass.
It was gnarly.
In getting it all dialed in.
Ass and getting that all dialed in. Cause you showed up Friday morning and it looked like nothing happened, and the staff was working all the way through the night. And we were able to have World Cup, and it was one of the greatest events that I've ever been at. It was amazing. It was big. There were tons of teams, tons of people. Everyone was excited. I mean, at the award ceremony, I've never in my life seen that many people. It was like being at a concert, again, I know we talked about this already, but it's just, the NXL has done a fantastic job. They truly have. So for anyone who wants to hate on what they've done, listen, I'm right there with you that things could be done better. Here at PTG, we could do things better. We're always trying to do stuff better. But they are too. And they're putting out a hell of a product. And like I said, it was just, I had to give Tom his props again on the phone. I was like, dude, I just amazed at what you guys pulled off, because it was such a great event and it could have been, a huge letdown. It easily could have.
Yeah. No, very
exciting things for next year. And so we're going to have Tom on the show here before the new year, I think, and go over some of that stuff, but pretty cool. Cool stuff.
Yeah. Major love to the NXL staff, everybody who makes those events come to life, for everyone involved. It's life-changing for so many people who are involved with those tournaments. And they actually just debuted the dates for the 2023 NXL season. And it looks like they're going back to 5, I guess you can call them major events, no more of the minors, just 5 events for the 2023 season. So we'll be on the lookout for that. I think the only venue they don't have dialed in is the Midwest venue at this point, but everything else is dialed in. We will be in Florida, in Philly, and then where's the third one at? It's
the Mid-Atlantic Open and the Midwest Open. So they haven't clarified a location.
That's right.
Yeah. So curious. I'm not sure. Probably Philly again. I mean, I can't assume they wouldn't go to Philly. I thought that they had signed a long-term lease. I think that venue is fantastic.
Right, yeah.
That venue is fantastic. So I don't know why they would change that one. Don't think they will. Midwest Open, maybe they're trying to find a new location for the Chicago event, which, I mean, the actual area that event is in isn't great, but the venue itself is really nice. I love the grass. The grass there is amazing. The playing surface is great. So, I mean, as an athlete, as a competitor, I would like for it to be there again. But, I understand trying to appease to look, a lot of people are going to these things to have a good time, right? They're there to win, but they also want to see a new city or a new place, or, be able to bring their families and have at least one night where they can go experience some cool stuff. So maybe they're trying to find a better venue that can do both.
Yeah, they got the Sunshine State, which is March 10th to the 12th in Florida. Lone Star, April 28th to the 30th in Round Rock, Texas. Mid-Atlantic Major, June 16th to the 18th in PA. And then the Midwest Major, September 15th to the 17th, location to be determined. And then World Cup, November 9th to the 12th in Kissimmee.
We might see some blind layouts too.
Oh, wow. Is that right? There we go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would dig that. I would dig it if there was like, who knows, 1-2 events that were blind. I think that'd be a cool concept, kind of do both. And then World Cup is traditional, where you get to really practice and grind it out.
Yeah, you could have 3 that are, with the layout and 2 that are maybe blind and kind of weigh it out that way. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. And then I do want to show some love for the WNXL champs, the Heroines.
Hell yeah.
Big ups to you for the W out there at World Cup. Mm-hmm. Semi-pro champs, Austin Notorious will be making the jump up into the pro leagues.
They had
That'll be exciting.
Ivan Gonzalez from DMG was playing with them as well, so I think he'll be playing with them again next year. So good for him. Kind of a bummer, DMG gets demoted and Notorious gets promoted. I'm still bummed about that. I'm still bummed about DMG getting relegated. That stinks.
I know. I love that camp.
Yeah,
and
me too.
Everyone's got to be working hard. That's the bottom line, and it's tough. This league is very competitive, so it's definitely very competitive. And the infamous kids took the NXL Youth Division, which was awesome to see Thomas Taylor and his kid like sharing that moment. Super special. And then the Veterans Militia champs was the Marines, and they took that one. And then
I'll tell you what, for the kids, you remember Ryan Podesta, of course.
Yeah, Ryan.
His son Nico, if he sticks with it, this kid is going to be insane. I mean, like the moves he's making already, I think he's 11. He might have just turned 12 years old.
Yeah.
It like blows my mind. He has no fear. He's got great IQ, good gun skills for like as good a gun skills as he could have for his body. He's a tiny guy,
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But there's a lot of kids actually right now. And from watching the youth division, I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I'm very excited to see the future of the sport. I think there's a lot of kids that are hungry and working hard and treating this like a real sport. They have a lot of opportunity to learn more than ever before. They're taking advantage of it. And I think we're going to be, we're going to have a competitive league for many years to come. It's good. We need that, like that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Professional paintball is that. I mean, it's about time that, what crazy, I forgot if you were in the conversation with this, Ty, but Quinn was telling me that, I think it was Quinn. I think I'm one of the youngest, like, active pros.
Oh, yeah, for the median age and everything.
Yeah, which is mind-blowing because I thought we were old guys. Yeah. Maybe it was, like, on teams that have won in the last few seasons. That could be it, because if you look at the teams that have won, it's all the old guys, It's Heat, X Factor, Impact, Dynasty. Even the Russians are, well, you have Sergey, Kirill, Malloy. I know Malloy's a little older than me. Yeah, I don't know, but it's all the OGs still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's processing, right? I mean,
totally.
You got to understand how to process the information, and I mean, just being alive, just being there in big moments to capture those big moments is everything. Sometimes we see a lot of players that maybe, over-engage or do a little too much and then get clipped or this, that, and the other. And it's just being there for those big moments. And then if you just can survive those little nuances, you'll see that those big moments really open up. And we see that's how the championships are won, right? Is just being there.
Being alive. We've preached that for so long. It's so important. Just be alive, and this is something watching Dalton play is like really, really special for an attacker because he understands that better than I think most attackers in the league. I mean, well, definitely better than most attackers. He might understand it the best. You'll see him just like completely give up on, you know what? Fine. If you want to own the tape here, I'm going to let you own the tape. I'm going to communicate to my players so that, you can't advance, you can't make a big move. And I'm just going to be alive here because I know that eventually my opportunity is going to come and there's going to be a window where you guys forget about me because I'm not over engaging. I'm not being selfish. I'm just being alive, communicating, feeding information, and then you'll make a big move. And Mouse is like that too. Really the great attackers. That's why they're so great, is because they can get into good spots and be alive, right? Like that's the number one thing. Chad George, same thing. He's so good at getting into the really good spots and then just being alive, not just getting into a good spot and saying, oh, now I'm in the 50. I have to shoot 3 people, so I got to come up, battle this guy, battle that guy. Boom, I'm dead. That's not good. You get into the good spots, you stay alive, and then the team kind of forgets about you, or pressure comes from other areas, and now you have an opportunity to make a big move or get a big kill.
Yeah, and there's so many different like nuances that we talk about, and they're all so important, right? And it's all about playing the clock situation and playing those body situations and seeing where we're at with the game, and then making good decisions off of that. And it's been such a fun season, man. 2022 was an amazing year of paintball, and super excited for 2023 to roll in. It's going to be December here in just a couple days, and the holidays are upon us. And I hope everybody's still working hard out there and playing paintball. It's good to see that there's still events running in November and December, and everyone's out there having fun playing paintball.
100%. Yeah. Actually, we had a great turnout Saturday. Out at Victory Paintball Park. Oliver has a really fun idea. I actually don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about, but there were photos. It's a really small field. Like the field is, when you see it, you're like, whoa. I mean, it's super small. He actually capped the chrono at 275 because of how small it was. But it's this one-on-one format, man, that is really, really, really enjoyable to watch. It looks really fun. It's fast-paced. It's kind of like tennis, and so he's, piggybacking off of like Short had this idea with Pro Tour, all the small bunkers, just all the Aztecs. It's very similar in that sense. Again, the field is much smaller, much more condensed. And what I thought was like really epic about watching this was it was so intricate when you watched 2 pros go at it, in a match per se, with 30 seconds in between, exhaustion comes into play, and just seeing the way like the different nuances in, you put someone in on this side and then that you're going to come down to the left, but there's like so much trickery, right? And kind of foolery with body movements. And then right off the gate, the start station is probably the most like exciting thing about it because you have the start station, but you can't start like off to the side of the station. So he has a box, almost like a key that is, extends from the edges of the start station about, 3 or 4 feet forward. You have to start in that box, both feet, and there's no bunker in the middle. So you're looking directly at your opponent, and then you have to make a move to each side. And it's, I mean, honestly, I feel like those rules would have to be adjusted. That's what I was telling them. Like, players are going to get so good at just pulling up. If you're caddy corner, like if you decide to start cross from each other, you're going to get an ace, and that's kind of a cool part of it is you get to ace. You just pull up, shoot your first ball. It hits your opponent and you get the point. And so it's kind of, that's an interesting thing too. Like as far as strategy goes, I was kind of coaching Kyle. I came straight down from some family stuff. So I didn't have my gear bag. So I was just kind of watching coaching and just seeing what it was about. And I was like, hey, like, line up opposite sides of him every single time and see if you have the edge. If you have the edge and you could get the ace, then just keep racking up points. If he has the edge, then what you do is you just started on the same side as him, right? And within the 10 seconds, you're like watching your opponent and you're both moving around trying to trick each other, right? Of what side you're going to start at, but you could see each other. You're like looking right at each other. And so if you don't think you have the edge against someone, like they're faster or better first ball shot, then you just go to the same side and you'll be able to at least get into your bunker and then engage in the one-on-one. But it was just, I don't know. I thought it was really engaging. And then obviously, Oliver is fantastic in making his vision come alive. So I think it's something that could be pretty cool. Excited.
Hell yeah.
And we'll let him, release more details, as he wishes, as he wants. But it was a very exciting thing to be part of.
Love that. Maybe we can call him on and he can chat with us about what he's got going on there.
Totally.
And paintball one-on-one format is extremely engaging. It's very digestible for a viewer, and it makes the optics really entertaining when you're watching just one versus one. There's a lot of entertainment. You get to see all the details of, snapshot choice, body placement when you come out of your bunker from the top or the corner or wherever you choose to. And it's really fun. I think there is this crazy video with Kyle like in a standoff with this other player. Who was that?
Alex from TJ Bastards.
Okay.
I think he's like the owner or something.
Dude, they went at it.
They went at it. Like, damn, Kyle. And it's funny. That's what Kyle said too when he, like, after he played his first match on Saturday, he was like, dude, it's weird. Something like about that format, you kind of tap into this like savagery, kind of, it's like, it's so
it's mano
like,
a mano.
Yeah, totally. So really cool. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun.
Well, it looks like our first guest is ready. Should we give him a call?
Yeah, let's tap in with we got Mr. RyGuy Media on the horn. Let's get him in here.
All right, let's go.
Forwarded to an automated voice messaging.
Oh, here we go. He's calling back. Hello? There he is.
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, brother. You are live on PTG.
What up, Ry?
Live. Nice to be live. Hopefully I sound okay. How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. You sound great, brother. Thank you for joining us. How's it going over there?
So, pretty good. Just reading through all the Facebook comments or whatever about the dates. It's the new news today is the 5 events, the 5 NXL majors. No more minors.
Yep. What are they saying in there?
The one thing I saw is that people are claiming that the league doesn't have a secured spot for Chicago, and maybe we're not going to Gaelic Park this year, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's funny. We were just talking about that, and that was my assumption as well. Maybe they want to find a new location that's a little more exciting, has some better like surrounding areas. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, from a media aspect, or I think even Go Sports, maybe a place that's not so close to all the air traffic control signal towers, because I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but when you're at the Chicago event, there's almost no cell reception, and I think they have the same issue with uploading stuff and broadcasting and everything else.
I don't know. I got AT&T, more bars and more places. We're good.
Well, there you go.
No, I definitely I do notice that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Do they also have issues with drones at that event?
I don't honestly know. I think that would be it's definitely a Gary Baum question.
Right.
He's the drone man.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure isn't Chicago where they brought that FPV drone pilot in and like did the pretty cool like FPV drone video.
I don't know what video you're talking about. I don't think.
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't know if that was Chicago. That might have been Philly, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember.
It was either Chicago or Philly. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome when they did that.
What video?
It was. I actually. There's a. I would have to see if I could find it. One of the events they brought in a professional FPV drone pilot, and I mean this guy was like flying his drone underneath the volleyball net in like the trade show area, and then they had him actually on a field like swinging out to the side off breakouts and stuff. Like he had to be a professional because the way he was flying that drone is you're like, okay, the insurance either doesn't know or he's got very good stuff.
Yeah, I do know exactly what video you're talking about. Shoot, it would be great if we could find a link to share that and give it some shine. But yeah, the aesthetic of that was super dope.
Yeah,
and it was that was kind of a copycat thing, right? I think that was originally like was done at, oh God, what was it? Some music festival or something. And I remember seeing this video went so viral on social media. It was insane. The fact that you could fly these
I
things
could
like
see
that is
that be like a
nuts.
Coachella thing or something.
Yeah, maybe something. It was dope.
Yeah, we'll see a lot more drone stuff coming into play, as the future rolls in. And like you said, Gary Baum's out there doing the big drone photos, holding it down for the drone squad, and he's having some fun with that.
Yeah, I mean, too bad he should flip that thing into video. If you get Gary Baum on the video squad, that would be
Yeah,
that's what I want to see. I
dropping
mean, I
reels.
don't know. I have a mixed opinion on drones, and for me, it's more so just because how much noise they create. Um, it's almost impossible to make a reel with native audio if there's a drone close enough without having a really strong buzzing noise from the propellers.
Mm, I see. Yeah, you'd have to throw the music over the top of that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
I mean, or
yeah, sorry. Ryan, real quick, can we just get like a little, just for the listeners, most of them probably, know who you are, but for those that don't, can you just give a little like introduction and what you do in paintball and who you work for right now and just let the listeners know your expertise?
so my name is Ryan Brochiers, RyGuy Media. I guess currently I work for Lone Wolf Paintball, and others, with different roles. I guess my expertise would be paintball reels. Uh, I kind of help manage a good majority of the industry's brands for real content. I mean, I've done stuff from DLX. I spent most of the season working for GI, JT, Empire Core, Pittman,
Mhm.
Lone Wolf. At Cup, I did some work for Planet Eclipse. I started off working for ProShar and Infamous in the 2021 pro season because there wasn't really a 2020 season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say my expertise is just reels. And for me, it's just ESPN style reels, right? Like I love the sport of paintball, but I just want to show the sport in exciting highlight moments, and that might be kind of subjective what I consider an exciting highlight moment compared to someone else. But I mean, for me personally, that's kind of my goal or my job is just to try to share the moments of paintball in like a 8 to 30 second clip.
Well,
Hell
you do
yeah.
a fantastic job at it, brother.
Yes, you do.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's crazy. You were kind of the first one to really explode on social media and break into the couple 100,000 followers and have reels go viral. And we talk about it a lot on PTG how important that is to have media that is being seen by the masses because your reels are being seen by people that have never seen paintball before. And that's huge for our sport. And so shout out to all the content creators right now in paintball that are producing this stuff and sharing it with the rest of the world because that's how we grow the sport. That's how we actually boots on the ground do the work to grow this game.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting in the beginning. The whole reels exploding, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of that I think was just somehow Instagram and TikTok and all that crossed. They at one point they took the platforms were kind of centralized just to your region or your country you're from. There's the U.S. based, the India based, the UK based Instagrams. And then one day, I think they were just like, you know what, we're gonna open the gates and cross all of them. And then India and Brazil for me just kind of got a hold of paintball, and I don't know if it just wasn't a big thing there. They hadn't seen a lot or whatever, and they went crazy for it. To the point that like it almost felt like bots, like it was an overnight thing. Like in 3 months, I went from like 10,000 followers to like 200 something thousand followers. I think at the height it was like 265. And it's interesting because Instagram actually like gives you the full analytical breakdown. If you actually go in and look, you know, it tells you where all your followers are kind of located by region and gender and age and the demographics of it all. And I always thought it was funny because I'd open it up and like the USA is literally like one of the lowest percentages of my followers. It's the highest being like Brazil, India, Colombia, places like that. Which I think they're either Instagram's purging it or they're starting to get tired of paintball because like I've lost like 30 or 35,000 of those 265,000 followers, but they've all been from the India, Brazil, and kind of areas. So and it's one of those like, yeah, it sucks to see followers go, but I don't know if they were really followers or just like, you know, it was a dopamine hit from them. You know, they saw Tyler Harmon's crazy, like I think it's 30 or almost 40 million view clip, and that was one of the first ones. You know, I attribute a lot of the blowing up was probably Tyler Harmon and Rainey World Cup.
Yeah, that
was going off.
That generated that match just generated so much, just great footage. I think one of the first viral ones for me was probably the Colt Roberts up the middle, like the one ball on.
Yeah.
I think it was Caleb Abel, NRG. He like just went in and one balled him. And the funny part about that clip is I wasn't even filming Colt. I was actually filming the Dorito player, and Colt just happens to be like the background action, but because I was filming in 4K, I was able to zoom in, like crop in past who I was actually filming and just clip that Colt part.
Wild, yeah, because that looked like it was all focused on him. It was a dope
clip. No,
funny.
Yeah, it was just kind of. I think some of the best clips are the ones that we don't even realize we captured until a month or 2 or 3 later.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that must be wild for you to, after an event, to kind of sift through all of the footage that you have. It's got to just be like tireless. I imagine your eyes start bleeding.
I haven't actually entirely gone through all the footage to any single event this year. It actually is. So it's kind of one of those things like, you know, I'll spend a week after the event and I just kind of speed sift through the footage and I'll make 50 or 60 reels and then send whatever my media agreement is with whatever company or people, you know, if it's Lone Wolf, DLX, Planet Clips, whoever, you know, send them off what they've requested from me. And then by the time that's all said and done, it almost feels like it's the next event. And, you know, the hard part is once you get to that next event, it's almost impossible to go backwards. So, like, one of my biggest issues, it's not even an issue, but, like, one of the biggest things that I feel bad about in what I do in media is, like, I'll go to WCPPL. Like, I went out there this year and filmed. And I just kind of start dropping reels. And then people realize I get reels of them. So they start messaging me. And they're like, hey, do you have more footage of me? Love to buy it, you know. And I would honestly love to sell it to them. But at the end of the day, I just don't have enough time to go back and find those people that, you know, I don't even know where to begin half the time in like the time of the day or the footage. Because when it's on the pro field, it's a little different to find you guys, right? Like I actually know who you are. I know the teams, I know the players. But when you go to these, you know, the regional events, like it's not as necessarily as steady of a rosters or teams showing up to them. So, you know, you go there and I don't really book teams. I'm just getting footage for Lone Wolf or GI or whoever it may be. And then some, you know, guy sees the footage that I got and they really want it. And it's like, man, I'd love to give it to you. And I feel kind of like an a-hole because I tell people I'll try, but I never just, there's always another event. There's always another clinic. There's always another practice. There's just always something else to film. And once I get to that next thing, it's so hard to go backwards.
Yeah. I mean, that totally makes sense though. Like if you get asked to go and, you know, retrospectively kind of look at footage, you don't have any like reference or like timing, you know, time frames. Whereas like if you go into it knowing, hey, I'm shooting for this person or this group, this team, this company, whatever, it's easy for you to like, you know, in your brain, remember, when, okay, well, Dynasty played in the morning, so I know I could go to that game and yada, yada. But if it's like totally random, it's like, oh, shoot, there was never anything while I was filming that was like, okay, remember this for later, so I imagine that would be, you're just kind of blindly going back and looking through footage, and that could be very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, there's two factors to like what you said with the pro field. The one thing is the pro field always stays on time, or
Totally.
the best that it can, right? Unless there's like a natural disaster, which I think Florida twice this year, had some pole snap or something, or just things that no one can control.
Right.
Nature comes through. But the other fields, not so much. They don't really stay on time. They either start running earlier, they start running late. Back and forth. Like it's so. At the end of the day, I can go look at like the metadata of my footage, and I can look at the date and the timestamp for the pro field, and then I can go look at the schedule and be like, oh, Dynasty. Well, they're always the last match of the day because Dynasty just always is the last match of the day in the prelims. So, I always know 4 or 5 p.m. Thursday, Friday, I'm playing Dynasty. Heat kind of typically seems to always be like right after the lunch break, kind of until Sunday. But when you get to the divisionals, it's not the same.
Totally.
You don't have that same reference. Like then there's like 6 different fields to look through. I guess the biggest advice I could ever give to anybody is if you want media, book it ahead of time. Like you said, it gives the person the mind of reference to remember, I need to clip this point. I need to clip this point. Like,
right.
This is important.
Yeah, and you got so much footage that you're diving through. It's, staggering amounts of time and footage that you have compiled there. And it's crazy. We really met for like the official first time when I came to do a clinic in the Midwest, and I think that was when you were first starting to like get into doing the media, and then in that time from then to now has just been a complete explosion of content, and honestly like a real takeover of, like you said, the reels, man. You've stayed very consistent with getting the reels out. Obviously, Verbal does a great job of pumping reels out. I think you guys are doing a tremendous job, and it's been really cool to see your journey from that start point. But I don't think that was when you first got into paintball. When did you find paintball? Like, what was your entry point into the game?
So I'm 34 years old. 1997. I was 9 years old. And I remember this distinctly because you had to be 10 to play, and I convinced my dad to lie on the entry form to say I was 10 because I looked like I was 14. I was like, come on, Dad, they're almost selling cigarettes already. Just who cares? But I remember I was 9 years old, and me and my best friend growing up named Chano went and played at a field in Elmendorf, Texas called Crossfire Paintball that unfortunately closed down COVID time, 2020. It kind of, I think they finally just hung it up. But the field had been around since late 90s, easy. And I remember the very first game I played, funny enough, the bunker I picked was like this tin shed in the woods. And turns out like that's the worst thing to go to your first time playing because once all the paintballs start hitting it, it's just loud and banging, and you're like, holy snap, what did I do? This, like, I'm in a hornet's nest. And I ended up like pointing the gun at the tip of my shoe, and I shot myself in the foot. I'm like, out! And I'm walking off.
Done that.
I'm actually thinking back on this now. I'm like, wait a second, how the hell would someone have shot me in my foot? I was in a building. I don't know, but like, yeah, I'm no shame. First time playing, I was like, I don't want the smoke. I'm getting out. I had like it was like a Pro Light or a 68 carbine. Like it was before the Tippmann 98. Like this was early electronic marker day. Like my first marker was a Piranha BL, to which then I went to a right feed auto cocker that I bought off a War Pig, to which then I traded to Impulse first generation with no eyes progressively just kept going. But I mean, I started playing when I was 9 in 97, and then all the way through high school. Like I was just the kid who had like the subscription to APG magazine and was just addicted to it. I reffed every Saturday so I could play on Sunday.
Dude, that's amazing. Shout out to War Pig one time, huh? War Pig.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I know PB Nation was the big thing, but I was more of a War Pig kid, I guess. Like, it was just I preferred more of their platform versus the full form.
Yeah. And now it's PTG Nation, full circle. It's going
Now
crazy.
it's PTG Nation and Discord.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Dude.
I mean, it's actually crazy to look at where internet's gone, right? Like, as a kid growing up, waiting for my APG magazine and my AOL disc to show up in the mail so I could get my 500 free hours. His dad wouldn't buy the internet so I could get on to War Pig.
Yeah.
All the way to, now we can film it, and within 30 minutes of filming it, Verbal's sitting there, hey doggy, in his chair, just editing away at the field. He's posting the reels as the matches are going on. I'm like, bro, no, come on.
He's on it, dude. He's on it.
He's on it. Like, that's my dude. I mean, I'd say there's actually a group of us that is actually like really just killing the reels. And it'd be like me, Verbal, Ryan Moffitt, Enrique.
Yeah.
That are just kind of like pouring them out there. And like, what's awesome is there's not really much competition between us. Like, we're actually all friends. Like, in fact, everybody that I just named like slept in my basement during NXL Chicago. And we just all like piled in my truck every day. Like,
nice.
Which it's awesome to see that they're doing great too, because it's, it kind of, part of what keeps us doing this is the people we're doing it around. I think it's the same as like the players.
Of course.
Totally.
Absolutely, man.
The camaraderie, right? Is that what you're kind of alluding to? Is kind of the team?
I mean, when you get that, right? Like, so there's definitely competition in media, just like there is in paintball. But like, when you can find your 3 or 4 or 5 guys that, at that event that you just work well with,
totally.
that, or you just like to be around, like, I look at my wife and I'm like, I love you guys, but I get to see Verbs this weekend. See you later. Because I'm just gone, and then I'm ready to get back home to them. But,
totally.
Of course.
Like, I didn't have a Verbal or Ryan Moffitt or Enrique, like like I shoot regionally, I shoot the Max events. I actually help manage them, at Blast Camp, which it's an awesome series, awesome to film. Well, like, I kind of look up every once in a while. I'm like, I don't see Verbal across the way, or there's no Enrique, or, just the guys that like you can talk to. I mean, just, they understand everything that's going on, like it's like your coworkers, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your squad. That's your squad for sure. And there's so many amazing media powerhouses that are in paintball, and it's really taken off in the last, season to 2 seasons. And we're so grateful for all of you that, like Marshy was saying, man, without you guys, we don't have that kind of notoriety getting out to the public and having new eyeballs seeing the game. So we're eternally grateful for all of the media that we have right now. It's amazing, and y'all are crushing it out there. So keep up the great work.
Keep playing great, because it's what helps us. It's definitely one of the, I love everybody that plays paintball, but it's kind of like, I like filming the pro field because of the level of athleticism versus if I go D5, D4, it's kind of like trying to film me playing paintball. Like, I'm a pretty good paintball player, but it doesn't look pretty. It's not athletic. But I get you. But, you go to the pro field, you can actually catch those clips and those moments that just look like poetry in motion almost. Because like every player wants that picture or that clip of them diving in air into Snake One, but the reality of it is not every player really dives. They think they're diving, but they're not. They're just kind of falling.
I'm feeling attacked right now.
No, I don't know about you. My biggest issue with you is you're like, hey man, get to the Dorito side because I need more media. And I'm like, yeah, Marsh, I got you.
And then I go to the snake side.
Whole event playing back center. Mark, what are you doing in the back center? Yeah, I guess that's like the hardest position to film.
Oh yeah, there's no action back there, dude. None at all.
Well, it's not even that. It's just back center or moving up. You're literally in the middle of all the bunkers, so you just like finding a good angle. Because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go line up to where I get Marcelo diving, sliding into Snake Corner or inserting in, and all of a sudden I'm looking over and I'm like, Oh, there's our turn. Oh, and he's in the back center. Okay. And I'm like, well, I didn't get the clips I need. I keep trying to get more media of you for you. But,
it's crazy because Enrique gets tons of great stuff of me moving and diving, and I mean, I've got it like loaded up. So I don't know, bro. I think we got to work something out.
It's just timing, I guess. Yeah, we got to figure it out. Like
we need some better chemistry.
I think what it is, me and Enrique are always on the opposite side of the field, right?
Yeah.
Like he's on the side, I go to the U side. So maybe I need to follow him around more. Because I feel like I like Tyler. I feel like just runs to me. Like it's just so much easier. Like he's just like, oh, there's Ryan.
Smart man.
Camera.
Smart man.
I'm like, yeah,
that's how you go viral. Man, I'm gonna start incorporating that into my gameplay.
And speaking of it, actually,
running to Rye.
Rye, you got a great clip of me going down the Dorito side. Shout out to that Dorito love. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Shout out to that Dorito love.
Oh yeah, shout out. You know what? I gotta say shout out to Lone Wolf because without them, we probably wouldn't see half the footage that I get.
Yeah,
to be honest,
dude, it's all love for Lone Wolf paintball at PTG.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, it's like Lone Wolf and this guy named Fitz at Lone Wolf. So like after every event, I basically just dump all my memory cards onto a hard drive and I send them off to Fitz at Lone Wolf, and he's the one who edits all those reels and just keeps them pumping. Like I think Joe just like locks him in a dungeon and he's like, no one talk to Fitz, he's got to edit. And they just keep that content going. So it's almost like the dream job for me because I just want to film, to be honest. I don't even want to edit. Like I'm okay if I never look at the footage I filmed. For me, it's more so I just enjoy using the camera and being on the field, which is weird. Because I hate editing. It's like I can do it. I've learned a lot. I've watched a ton of YouTube videos on it, but I think what I hate about it is editing has the worst ROE in anything. And by that, ROI, I'm sorry, not ROE. ROI, the worst return on investment is because, I'll spend 3, 4, 5 hours trying to make a polished, nice edit and it gets like 8,000 views. And then you just take a 10-second raw clip and it goes viral in millions. Like I've never had a highly edited clip go viral, ever.
That's interesting, right? With paintball, you notice that. Yeah, like the clips that seem to do the best are like someone literally just shooting their gun and loading, and just raw audio.
Yeah, and my theory behind that is actually, if you want to go viral, you have to make content for people who don't understand paintball and not content for paintballers. Because there's such a small portion of us. We're very small, like the actual paintballers. Because when you look at these highly, Quitsky, DQ, even Enrique, Ryan Moffitt, like the list goes on of guys who do great edits and and they do great in views, but those great edits don't do as good as their raw stuff does either. And I think it's because people who don't understand paintball, when they're those highly edited reels, they don't really understand what they're watching. There's no way for them to relate to it. It's it would be like, if ESPN showed zoom in of just zone defense being played for 30 seconds. Unless you understand basketball and know what zone defense is, you're just going to see guys around guys. Instead they choose to show the slam dunk because you don't have to understand paintball to understand that when that guy put that ball through the hoop, something happened, right? Like he did something. So for paintball, I think that's just shooting the gun. And, people are amazed at how many paintballs you shoot or the horrible paint reloads that me and Verbal love to just ride for days because they're pretty good at views sometimes. Or, it's the failed dives. I don't know why slide canceling got kind of big, but it's little moments that I think people can attach to feel some sort of emotion towards. And I don't think, unless you play the sport, you have really any emotion towards a highly edited clip of the sport.
That's a great point. I mean, I guess my only argument would be is if the highly edited clip had like great slow motion of a one ball shot with good music, I think there's a way that you could accomplish both, right?
Oh, there's always a way, but it's
again, ROI, like all that time you're going to take to put that together. you could just put the one slow motion clip of literally just the shot, and then that might do better than the edited version.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Or you're hoping that someone then you got to deal with what people's current retention rate of things, right? Like we're training society to have ADHD. I'm taking part in it. I mean, it is what it is, but I recognize it. Like, we're training people to only want to consume content that's like less than 30 seconds. So if it's highly edited, we hope to even watch it long enough to get to that clip that makes them want to share it or celebrate it. Because even with long format, you have the first 3 to 10 seconds to actually get them to stick their teeth in, or they're going to swipe whichever direction to go to the next piece.
Totally.
Yeah. And like in the past, you had, a Cassidy Sanders who would make these insane edits and these, long tail videos, and they did really well for that time period. But the time period that we've moved into, like you're saying, is much smaller. They want just a fast little bit, and then they're going to keep moving on their social network platform, whichever one it is. But they're definitely, like, I still go back and watch old HK videos from Cassidy. And I'm just, me as a player, I'm completely captivated by those old HK videos still. And, it's...
I think they're amazing.
Yeah, I know. And his music choice and the editing. But yeah, it's a completely different day and age now. And, big love to Lone Wolf, all the media that they do and everything that you're doing. And they just have the greatest team over there, too. The Lone Wolf family is such a cool family. All the guys in there is just top notch.
Yeah, they definitely are. And that's why I'm happy to, keep working for them and help manage their pro field media as my, main job. I ended World Cup doing stuff for HK, and I'm kind of hoping in 2023 to do more freelance work with HK, but that's also just because HK has, they just seem, they for me, they have the guys I can learn from, right? Like they have the DQ and Danny Lincoln. And so there's a lot of interest for me to get to go to house interviews with DQ, or to just, even get a collab or work with them at all, just to learn anything. Because editing wise, filming wise, doing stuff like they have me beat 10 times. Like, right. I got where I got to because I just put my head into the trench and was like, hey, I'm going to post 7 reels a day for 6 months straight. Watch me go crazy. And it worked,
It works
over anything.
Yeah,
it did. And then, this year it's been less consistent on my personal, but that's because I've been focused on everybody else's. That's okay. Because that helps pay the bills a little more, so it's a trade-off, but, because at Cup, I got to actually go to Keith's house, and we interviewed Ronnie, Todd, Sam, and I think that's it. We tried to do more, but then we just got busy. But just getting to be at an interview with DQ, with us setting up lights, watching him ask questions, help ask questions. This guy's been doing this since before I ever, DQ was doing it back with Cassidy Sanders. He's part of the original theater squad, from what I understand, right?
Yeah,
it was DQ, Kakuza, and a couple other guys.
Yep, the OGs. Yeah, everybody, if you haven't checked out DQ Films, that is his Instagram handle. Go take a look and check that out. And then obviously Danny Lincoln, he does phenomenal work with HK Army. And
I love Danny's work.
Yeah, he's top notch.
Yeah, such a great aesthetic to his stuff. It kind of reminds me of Enrique as well. I know we talked about Enrique already. I just got to give my boy a big shout out because I love Enrique and Ivan. I knew them both long before Enrique. I remember when Enrique first bought a camera and he came out to an OPS event. This was probably 3-4 years ago. Because he used to play with his brother Ivan Gonzalez from, formerly of DMG, now of Austin Notorious. And I remember
shout out double points champ.
Shout out.
That's like
Shout out.
the most awesome thing in the world. I'm sorry, I just want to take a second for that. Like,
Go ahead.
what the wildest end to the season, right? Like, even as a media guy, I spent the whole year, like, it's fit first class camp. It's fit first class camp. And then here comes Mark Franz in the end. Double points, baby.
It's pretty wild.
Whoa.
It's wild.
Talk about a bomb. Like,
Talk about a bomb.
no one saw it. No one saw it.
My heart breaks for Blast Camp too. I feel like 2 years in a row now. They had it. It was like theirs, and then
right. It definitely does for me too, right? Like, those are my boys. They're local, and I actually spent a week or two before Cup, instead of traveling for practices like I normally did, I stayed here and I interviewed them, and it's just going to add more for the story down the road. But Virgil and Jackson, all those guys, like they're definitely they deserve it. I mean, but it is
takes time.
At the end of the day, like that's the love and the hate of sports, right? Like, and it's kind of, people could, you could argue like, Blast Camp. I mean, I would argue, right? Like, they had the best season of anyone. They took first 3 times.
That same thing happened to Wrecking Crew, the D3 team that I coached. They literally won 3 majors. 3 majors. Yep. The only 3 majors besides World Cup.
Infamous.
Yeah. And then because of double points, that's definitely something that needs to be revisited. I don't know that I think that's the most fair way for the series to go. It's a little, I don't know.
I think double points was cool to try one year. I definitely think we should revert back.
Totally. Maybe like times like 1.2. You know how like on your Spotify thing you could go at like 1.2 speed, just like a little faster. It's not twice as fast.
You're actually not the first person I've heard say that. Like 1.2, 1.3, like make a marginal difference.
Yeah, right. But double's nuts.
Not enough. Like, even at the end of the day, like with Blast Camp not getting it, I still feel paintball fit. Like, if it wasn't double points, paintball fit takes the pro spot, because they were in second place going into the event, and they played in the finals match.
Right,
I think
right.
Notorious was like 4th place. Maybe they were 3rd place.
Yeah. There's
something, either way, it's wild.
There's something to be said though too about like kind of changing our entire thought process on the season and gearing it more towards the Champions Cup is the Super Bowl. Right. So all year, those points matter, and it's going to help with like seeding and things like that for the final round. But really, the final round is the most important one. And that is who determines the winner. I mean, that's how World Cup always kind of has been. Even if you won World Cup, but got 10th place at every other event, you're the most badass team until the next year. Like, that's just the way it is, period. All the players know that. So it kind of like lends itself to actually, putting that into motion. I don't know. I'm conflicted on it because it does kind of stink. Like I said, Wrecking Crew got 1st place, 3 events, and then they made Sunday at World Cup. They lost in the first round, but that was enough for them not to win the series. It's crazy. Blast Camp and Fit thing is crazy. It seems like a little unfair, but it also, I don't know, if you look at it on the other side of the coin, that's the most important event for a reason. So I don't know. I think it'd be fun to talk with, a bunch of different people about it and really see what we think is the best.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with the analogy, right? Like, we don't really have a playoffs. We have a season, and then everybody goes to the Super Bowl, and then, World Cup's the Super Bowl, and doesn't matter how the season did, it does for some bragging rights, I guess, but it's how the Super Bowl ends that matters.
Right. Totally.
Which, I mean, but we're a very unique sport also, in the sense that I'm pretty sure we're the only, or one of the only sports in the world where every year one team is like kicked out of the pro division and one team is promoted to the pro division. Most sports, it's like an owner's board. There's a set amount of teams. They bought in, they own the teams, and in order to even add another team takes like almost a unanimous vote. Like, you can't just throw a team out of the NFL and bring a new AFL team in, or Canadian Football League team, right? Like, it doesn't work like that. So we're very unique in that idea in itself. And I think maybe Tom Cole's just trying to fine tune that system. I personally would love to see us go back to the Champions and Challengers days. I think it makes more sense.
I think like a lot of European leagues have it, like maybe some European soccer leagues. I think motocross might have something like that. I could be totally off on that. I feel like that's something I heard a long time ago, where you have to like earn a spot. I mean, golf is somewhat like that, right? Like you have to qualify and earn.
Those are definitely individual sports. Those aren't team sports. Like it's individuals that are earning the spot or the card. Like even in motocross, like you might ride for a sponsor, but it's still an individual rider who has the pro card and an individual golfer who has a pro card.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, what's the difference? You know, you're representing a pro position. Well, I guess no. The difference is that a team will be around much longer than any athlete on the team, right? Like the Lakers, you have multiple athletes that come through and have careers, and then their career ends. The team doesn't end. So okay, never mind. There is a difference.
Yeah. I think one relies on the organization's ability to constantly build a good program, and the other relies on the longevity of an individual.
Yeah. Okay. So I see right here. I think it is the European League. So soccer, you know, European football has the Premier League, and it's they do relegate teams in between, you know, the Premier League and what's the other league?
Dude, speaking of soccer, USA moved on.
Yeah, shout out to USA. Thank goodness we won that game. That was a big win. Big win.
We're doing good in the cup. I actually don't watch soccer. I know like hardly anything about it. So
but
that
it's
makes
the biggest sport in the world, right? Biggest sport in the world.
Right. I mean, but I love paintball, and it's probably one of the smallest sports in the world.
Yeah, totally.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you know? So how do you feel about relegation? Do you think that there should not be relegation?
I don't. I think it's an interesting. I think yes and no, right? I think there should be relegation, but I think there should also be a time of protection to the new team. I think like
for sure.
So if I'm a semi-pro team, say like Notorious, they just won the pro spot. I think they shouldn't be allowed to get relegated for the first 3 years, and then after that, they're allowed to be open up to relegation. And this allows them time to actually cover the bridge, right? Because there's a significant skill difference between the pro division and the semi-pro division. And when a new semi-pro team comes in, it's a bit of an uphill challenge. I mean, shout out to the Hurricanes. I think did a phenomenal job this year. You know, they literally, you know, first goal was win a point. Second goal was to win a match. Third goal was to just win more than we lost. Fourth goal was to, you know, keep going. And they did it. They progressed every time, every event. But I think having that buffer, having that 3-year window protects the lower teams. And then we also could see a change up in more of the guys who just, you know, they're never going to leave that 17 to 12 seat, right? Like, I feel like we have, you know, some teams that are they're just going to stay in that bubble and they'll live forever because you have those newer teams, or you have, you know, the Latin Saints situation, or you have where, you know, Fit becomes AC Dallas and then gets what we called in the military OJT real fast, on the job training, that, you know, going from D3 to pro, that's a jump. So they got relegated, but then I think it made them better. You know, I think they became even better now. So I think them and Blaskamp, you know, I think that's actually where, I think it has to be changed a little bit. I think the teams, if we're going to keep a relegation and promotion system, there has to be a way to protect the team coming in for a couple of years to actually get a chance to build a program. Because if not, then I feel the guys who have just been there for, you know, 15 years, 10 years, 7 years, like you just, you know, like NYX, like I don't think they'll ever get relegated just because they have the ability to keep staying, you know, 18th, 17th.
Totally. So, you know, conversely, protecting, you know, how's this for an idea? Because protecting the new teams that come in, I think, is important because it's, you know, an investment in the semi-pro teams. They earn the pro spot, and it's a huge bummer to lose it just a year later because you don't have the experience. Same thing, though. Say you're a team like the Ironmen, for example, and shout out to them for having that second place this year that really, you know, propped them up and helped them avoid relegation. But say you're a long-standing team, and this happens in every sport. It happens with the Los Angeles Lakers. It just went through it, you know, 5 years ago. you go through a complete rebuild, right? The Ironmen lost all of their stars, and they decided, you know what? We're going to invest in a bunch of young, new talent. We're going through a complete rebuild. They need a little bit of a cushion because it's going to take more than 1 year for them to not be the worst team in the league. And to lose your pro spot for an organization such as the Ironmen, I mean, that would be devastating. So for me, I think, I think it should be an average of the last 2 seasons, right? So if you're the worst team for the last 2 seasons in a row, then you get relegated. A new semi-pro team can get, promoted every year, but the team that gets relegated, it should be an average of the last 2 years rather than just the 1 year. And I know that's not quite 3 years, but it's like a nice medium, and at least you have some time, some breathing room to to go through a rebuild, get some experience, and, not be the worst team in the league.
Right. And I'd agree with that too. Doing the average of the last 2 seasons would be, that would be a solid system, I think. Because the 3 years for me was, if it's 3 years, then you have 3 teams protected. So you're forcing that 17 to 12 seed switch up. Because I think that's where if we're going to maintain this relegation and promotion system, I think the healthiest thing to do then would be to swap up that meat. Because if you've been 17th, 16th, 15th for 7 years now, 8 years, I mean, is that organization capable of doing more, or are there other organizations that should get the shot to get up there?
Yeah, maybe not
we
now.
Can go back to
maybe not now, but in 5 years, 10 years, when me and Tyler are we are retired from the game, and all the older guys that are also retired from the game are out, then those 17th, 16th place teams that are a little bit younger, maybe they're in the top 4, because by then they're going to have the experience. They've stuck with it. So, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I don't really hold it against some of these teams that are stuck in that, 10th through 17th range. I mean, it's just a really competitive and tough league right now. You have the people that have been at the top have just been doing this for so long and are still in good shape. It's going to be, in my opinion, really difficult to dethrone the top 4, top 5 teams that have all of this experience and are still athletic. You just don't have enough time under your belt, right? But over the next couple of years, as maybe athleticism really does start to decline, or people start to retire, then those players are going to become the veterans that might step into that kind of top 4. And if they've been a consistent and steady team, I think that says a lot, right? If you commit to the league and the game for that long, I'm not going to fault you too much for being in the 16th, 17th range. I would like to see some of those teams start making a little bit of some changes, right? And it's funny, actually, I know we have a Discord question that alludes to this that we're going to get to a little bit later, about some of those teams that are in that range, about if we were the GM of that team, what would our changes be? But it's exactly that. You got to do something. You can't just keep year after year bringing the same thing and not trying to get better, just expecting that if you do the same thing, it's going to think results are going to change. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely hear you on that, Ryan. I just, I also know how difficult it is right now with the top of the league.
I mean, absolutely. And I have nothing against any of the 17, 16, 15, 14 teams.
Course,
I love all those guys. I have to work around all these teams, and I don't have. I wish everybody stays pro, right? But I'm just saying, if we're gonna, to me, I guess it's just what makes them most athletic. Because my counter argument would kind of be, if what you're saying is those guys can't be the top until you, Tyler Harmon, Alex Frazee, and all y'all retire, what you're telling me then is that when y'all retire, the top bar gets lowered. And I don't think that's where the sport should be, because I don't think when Michael Jordan leaves or LeBron leaves or, people leave basketball, I don't think the bar gets lowered. I think you have, Steph Curry, or we can go from Ray Allen to Patrick Ewing, and there's always these names that kept pushing the limit. And I feel like switching up that middle is we could give exposure to those teams that could get that chance to push that limit. Because although, yes, I think experience is important, I also don't know if I agree that the 40-year-old men are the most athletic guys to win it. Are they winning off experience? Absolutely. Are they amazing players? Absolutely. Are they in great shape? Absolutely. But, I feel like there's a team of, just holding dolls somewhere that have gone through puberty ready to kill, but they're not going to get that chance because you have these middle slots just locked up.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, right? Like athleticism just is not as important in our sport as it is others. In basketball, if you lose a step, it's a big deal. In football, if you lose a step, it's a big deal. In paintball, if you lose a step, it doesn't matter as much because guess what? You could run a 4-2 and you can't outrun a paintball. A paintball still shoots faster than you. So that's like a little bit of a difference. Now, what I do think, I believe that there will come a day where all of the athletes in the league are running, 4.4s. That's kind of, and it's true, like just elite level athleticism. And they're paired with like the experience that, Tyler, myself, and the older guys in the league have. And when that happens, the game's going to look totally different. I totally believe that, but I don't know that we're close. But that has to be the evolution of it, right? I mean, it has to be. You just have to have like supreme athleticism paired with the experience, and when you have 10 people on a field at the same time that are all like that, I'm curious to see how the game plays, because it's for sure going to play a little bit differently.
Yeah, I mean, if you could see the pro level discipline trickle down to the divisionals and see it stick for years and see that cultivate, I think it would be an amazing evolution for the sport.
Totally. Definitely.
And they're hungry. We're seeing it more than ever. And like when we saw at World Cup, there's more kids playing paintball than I've ever seen. From even when I was a youngster in March, when we started playing, like there was definitely some younger kids playing, but I feel like now more than ever, there's really
for sure
an uprising of the youngsters making a press. And hopefully, they'll keep gritting and grinding through the process because it's not an easy one. And there's a lot of trials and tribulations to learn through this game and a lot of lumps and a lot of bruises that it takes in order to learn the hard lessons to become a top level paintball player. You just have to go through those tough times, and they mold you and they make you a better paintball player and a better teammate for your organization. As long as they can stick with that process, I think that we're going to see, I don't think that we'll see a step back, because individuals like myself and Marcelo aren't going to let that happen. We're going to make sure that we give them the hard-nosed tactics that they need to progress and play that gritty paintball that it takes to be at the top. So
I agree. And like, it's kind of like how you said how we met was you came to a clinic. And I think that's one of the first huge steps for paintball is all the explosion of clinics that you're seeing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's more opportunity to learn as a young paintball athlete now than ever before. Online, in person. You could go on YouTube. You could subscribe. You could hire one-on-one coaching. It's just so available. You can watch Go Sports. Tyler and I didn't have that as kids. We had to wait for like a cool company to make a dope DVD of an event to watch the pros play, unless we were there in person. Now you could literally for $15 a month, which is nothing, honestly. People waste $15 every month on a lot of other stuff, and then we complain about the Go Sports price. I'll say it again. I pay for 2 subscriptions, one for myself and one for anyone that I want to share it with when we're at events, right? Like support Go Sports. It's the best thing that we've had as far as, content and capturing what we do at the pro level. You can just watch the pros play. You could watch endless amounts of games and footage of how the pros move. How does your favorite player that plays your position move around the field, process different situations? If it's a 1-on-2, what do? Do they hide? Do they attack? If it's a 2-on-3, do they hide? Do they attack? What's the score when they hide and attack? These are all things that you can watch and learn just from being intentful with what you're doing, and it's also fun watching paintball. I love watching Go Sports. So, we have more opportunity now than ever before for kids to learn and obtain the knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, Darren, a ton of work and a ton of stupid work. And I love watching Go Sports. I'll admit, I pay a subscription, but I haven't really watched it this year just because I've been pretty busy. But
Shout out
at
to
the events,
supporting.
I've noticed every event that they're either adding mics up.
Yes.
Darren contacted me and he's like, "Hey, do you know someone who wants to run pit cams for the whole event?" Or I've talked to Darren and Dylan, the great guy I love working with. Dylan filmed it, does a lot of the field cam stuff for Go Sports too. Like they're always adding and running new gear. I believe, they even got a little more to invest this year, probably with the whole the new owner and stuff coming in and all that, whatever. But yeah, I think even with the last two events, I've started seeing like huge scissor lifts and stuff and start doing other angles. Like every event, they're trying something. They're experimenting. And you see it in the comments on YouTube, like this is the best way or that's the best way. Like it's all subjective. We're never going to please everybody, but I do think that Darren's doing the best job he can to improve it every event.
Totally agree. Darren
Without a doubt.
is the man. I mean, he was the guy behind Paintball Access, and took all of that expertise and has brought it to Go Sports, and he's continuously trying to innovate and find new ways to capture the game and make it cooler. We have conversations with Darren quite frequently, and it's for all the listeners, our hope with PTG is to just kind of extend the branch so you guys have a little bit of an inside look to the industry. Like we've said before, everything's not perfect, but a lot of the people that are in charge of these things are truly trying to do their best to grow this game. And I'm the first one to call people out and speak up on how I feel. I don't really care. I stick to my beliefs, and I for better or worse, it's bit me in the ass many times. So I'm not up here bullshitting. These individuals are truly trying to do the best they can for the game, and our support matters. Again, that's why I have no issue. I never cancel my subscription. I pay for 2 separate ones, and it goes year long, and I watch, I enjoy it. And I know that, Darren, Maddie, the people at Go Sports are trying to give us the best product possible. And currently that's our best way forward between you guys, you guys being like Rye, Verbal, and all the media, the whole media team. I can't, Sam, I can't leave anyone out, so I'm just going to say everybody, the whole media team, all of you guys in Go Sports to me are what our future is relying on. I would hope that Tom Cole can maybe, work out a sweet deal with a sponsor. I know he's always trying to bring some sort of outside sponsors in, and that's possible. And I could see that, but I really believe in the media. I believe in you guys. I believe in Go Sports. I think that's our chance, right?
I think that, yeah.
It is, you guys getting eyes and engagement, more people interested in paintball through just organic reach on social media, massive. And then Go Sports being the revenue service to showcase professional paintball at the highest level, in actual matches, which could in turn end up being a way to pay players and just everything, right? So to me, again, I mean, Tyler and I are part of this media team now too. We're, if you guys don't mind, where we would like to be welcome to the group, because that's what it's all about.
You guys won the iconic award. You guys are 2021 iconic media champs. You guys are definitely part of it. I mean, actually, I'd say, and I hope I say this correctly without saying it wrong, but I think COVID was one of the best, worst things that ever happened to paintball. And what I mean by that is the amount of content creators from, stuff like PTG to, Let's Talk Paintball to Iconic to Paintball Nerd to, we'll even talk about Soup. I love them all. Like I love all forms of paintball content creation because I think it all has a place. I think if you want paintball to be like basketball, to be like baseball, and when I say be like, I mean at that size, you need everything from a tabloid to, a biographer. Like you need it all. You need all.
It's so true.
Because the only way to get the masses involved is to make content that appeals to everybody in the masses. And people love reality TV, and people love, documentaries on Magellan or whatever streaming network. And I would agree, like the Go Sports and you guys, the podcast, the streamers, all of it's our better way. ESPN is not the way. Like, I think
Totally.
that is kind of like when you said, you love Cassidy Sanders videos, and so do I. But I think anybody today who tries to make a Cassidy Sanders video, I love the nostalgia of it, but I think you're trying to make the wrong content for the wrong era. Like, I just don't think it belongs. Just like I think ESPN for paintball just isn't what it is. That was what it was then, but now your best bet is to make it to where paintball reels generate so much ad revenue on Instagram that Coca-Cola wants to reach out to Go Sports and say, hey, we want to run ads, because we just realized that we could give you $100 million for the season, and that is a tenth of what we give the NFL. And you're giving us how many views? Like, because if you really look at like the Tyler Harmon reel, and I refer back to this because it's honestly one of my favorite reels I've ever captured. And I'm not talking about like the one we turned into the NFT. I'm like the Tyler Harmon 1v1 where the one ball, you hear the limbs hit, like literally the reel captures every emotion of paintball from the crowd to the player. If you can get 30 million views on that and somehow figure out how to either ad place something or get an advertisement, then whatever that reel cost you just got as many views as a Super Bowl ad, which costs what, $100 million a minute or something?
Is that what it is? Jesus.
I mean, it's astronomical. Yeah, a Super Bowl ad is.
Yeah.
It because they have like 100 million viewers at any time live, and like if you do the numbers, like sponsors could pay Go Sports a fraction of what they pay for one Super Bowl ad, and potentially see an astronomical growth in viewership. But first, we have to. Our easiest way to get there is the Instagram, is TikTok, is YouTube Shorts, and that's just because Shorts are what is in content right now. It might go to long format, but I don't see that change happening because, if you're not paying attention and you're into social media or you make any money off it, February 2023, YouTube is going to open up a whole new line of monetization on Shorts for YouTube Shorts because they want to go after TikTok and compete with Instagram, Meta, Facebook. So with YouTube throwing their hats in, I think we're going to see the Shorts just get bigger because we're in a world that, Tinder, swipe left, swipe right, right? Like it's the same thing. Like I can watch a video for 10, 15 seconds and then swipe to the next one. So yeah, I think ESPN, as great as it is, because that is the World Cup of sports, right? ESPN is for sports news network, right? They're the top. But I think paintball is going to do better if we just focus on our own.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of layers to it, and you're right. It takes all of us, and we just got to keep having fun with it and showcasing this amazing sport that we play, and all just keep pushing and creating the content and keep having fun with it. And I think that we're going to see production off of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like even you guys have non-paintballers, like other professional athletes come on to this sport. And like, I think that would be an awesome thing to do, right? If we could ever get like, shout Chris Odom to like get the offensive 5 guys from the offensive line on the Browns to play 5 guys from the defensive line in an X-ball match on like middle of NXL Chicago. I don't know, and find a way to televise it and like get people interested because they're interested in those people. I think, what you guys are doing by bringing cross athletes in is the next best thing to anything else, is because it's, we're in an age where people are invested in people online versus organizations. So sometimes bringing in that athlete, you might draw, another million people because he has a 10 million person following.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, right, real quick. We're at 1:30 right now because I just want to timestamp and we need to definitely turn that little bit that you mentioned into a reel or a short clip, because I 100% agree about that being the way for us to bring revenue into the sport without the ESPN or major sport route. We don't need the mainstream stuff. We can do it ourselves. And it's been proven that we can do it ourselves with the views, the numbers. And so, like Tyler said, more of that. Content creators keep doing that, but Go Sports should be doing that. NXL should be doing that, and really expanding that opportunity, because that's what sponsors care about. Exactly like you said, they care about numbers. How many eyeballs are going to see my commercial? That's what they care about. That's what earns these $100 million contracts, right? So that's what we need to be pushing forward. And that's why, like, the common question that we always get is, how do we get back on ESPN? Wrong question, actually. How do we make money for professional paintball? How do we make money for the industry? Right? And you just nailed it. So thank you for a fantastic answer. Again, 1:30, I'm writing that down, and we're gonna go back and clip that, because it's something we've talked about on here before, and I could not agree more.
Glad to help. I mean, even like, not even say let's make, like, making money from professional paintball would be awesome, but let's just make professional paintball not cost money, right? Like, that's another thing I don't think a lot of people realize. Like, you win the pro spot, it's awesome. You got some money you got to pay now, right? Like, you got to have banners made, you got to have logos thrown out. Like, none of that's free. Like,
totally.
And then you still have entry to events, and then you still have paint. Like, it's
totally.
Like, we have a pro division that has less coverage, that has less financing than any minor league division of any other sport. I think if we could get more sponsorship money and have the money actually go where it needs to go. And I'm not saying money doesn't go where it needs to go. Like,
totally.
I'm not deep enough into the cogs, right? Like, I'm a camera monkey. That's what I do. But, like, if, and I don't know if it comes into, Coca-Cola wanting to sponsor PTG, and then Coca-Cola having the ability to, have their logo or air something with y'all, or, when you guys go up to Lauren Kelly after Dynasty wins the 10-peat, you're like, I'm going to Coca-Cola land, whatever, it is. But that's the only way, because ultimately paintballers don't have the money to make our sport as big as we want to make it, because our sport is super expensive. So we need outside money, and we have to cultivate an environment that they want to come to.
Totally.
Yeah, I love that, man. Yeah, it's a can of worms. There's a ton of stuff in there, and the most important thing is that we're moving forward and we're attacking it, right? We're not sitting on the wayside. We're chasing it and we're going for it, and we're doing everything in our power to give it the best product possible, so that paintball can be stronger than it's ever been in its very short time that it's been around too. We have to remember paintball is still in its infant stages, and we're growing. We're learning how to navigate these territories, but you cannot argue the fact that paintball is one of the funnest things you'll ever do. It is completely captivating. If you've played, and even watching it, even if you haven't played and you see these clips, it's captivating. You're intrigued. You want to know more about it, and it's only going to continue to grow into the future as we move forward. It just takes all of us, like we just said, it's the team, it's team us. We got to keep pushing and creating the pathway and creating the content. And those numbers will continue to roll in, as we've seen. They're getting bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it. I don't even think paintball's in its final format.
No, yeah, it's probably not. There's so many different cool ideas and ways to capture the game differently, and it's changed so much. It changes a little bit almost every year. But I agree. Yeah, it's probably not in its final form. The NBA is not in its final form. Each year they, there's stuff that, maybe not each year, but every maybe 5 years, it feels like there's some sort of significant rule change, and that's evolution. That's natural. That's the way things should be. You got to grow, you got to change to adapt and stay relevant and stay exciting. Do you have a format, Ry, before we let you go? Do you have like a format that you think would be better, or one that you think would I don't know, be more palatable?
So honestly, I think you get rid of split deck matches.
Well,
they gotta
for
go.
sure. 100%.
Because it's way too, like, I honestly think it's the final format. If we're talking about like to truly televise, it will probably be back to something where it's an X ball match is 20 minutes, 10 minutes on this side, 10 minutes on that side. Like you don't flip sides every point; you flip sides in half.
I would love
Because
that.
again, it's easier for the viewer to track a team when they spend the whole 10 minutes on one side versus every point like that. Because the next ball, I can look away and all of a sudden the side split. Like literally, go grab a bottle of water, 30 seconds, come back, and the point's over. We're on something new. A penalty box of some sort reassess, because I don't think people who don't understand the sport really understand how devastating penalties are in the sport, right? Like in X ball, it's especially like under a minute, if you get a major, you might lose the match over it, the swing point.
Totally.
So I think some sort of penalty system that is recoverable. Like, your guy went to the penalty box, and again, I don't know if the penalty box is the right answer, because he's just going to get blasted coming out of that thing, because that's what it was back in the day. Like,
No, people
I mean,
came
from a
out.
media standpoint.
People came out though and won games. People came out of that box and pulled out games. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you got blasted if things were going real bad for your team, and yeah, sometimes you got blasted. But there were a lot of times where that player came out and was a contributing factor to winning the point.
And especially if you don't have
so I
a
mean,
coach, because the coach would always be like, he's coming out of the box. He's coming out of the box, So if you take away that aspect where you're telling the players on the field that a player is going to, be coming out of the box, then I think it changes it a lot as well. The sideline coaching, just in my personal opinion, is detrimental to the natural nature of paintball at its like purest form, the cat and mouse style to it.
I mean, yeah, if you're looking at, I would agree if you're in the woods, but I think on a tournament field, it's a little different, right? Because I think, I mean, if you look at basketball, if I'm the coach, I can yell plays, during mid-match. I can, tell 1, to 3, to 4, whatever my number is to signify to go from man defense to zone to whatever it be.
Yeah, but real quick, the reason that's different is because on a basketball court or a football field, you can see all the variables yourself. Paintball is like,
that's true.
Paintball's different because you can't see a move. You can't see where a player went, right? So a coach can completely give that up, where like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's why I think that's a pretty stark difference in the two, which makes it, I'm like, man, I don't want coaching because it takes away such good moves, but I also want the crowd to be able to yell and be involved. It's like a weird thing.
So, and that's where the coaching part comes into.
Yeah.
I think you have to have crowd involvement. And
totally,
if you have the no coaching rule, then, the crowd involvement can get penalties assessed. But I mean, so to make it more palatable is, I think we don't even know the right answers because we haven't figured it out, right? But I think definitely keeping everybody to one side for a duration of time, and then they flip sides and then play another set of points. I think instead of 10 minutes, instead of race to 6 or whatever, it's just 20 minutes. And you let it ride. Like, if teams get the shit kicked out of them, teams get the shit kicked out of them. Like, sorry about your luck. It's because people love blowouts. Like, you don't see them stop.
I hate the mercy rule.
I mean, I'm sure I think it's tough. I think you should be able to run that score up as high as you can, because my favorite part of sports is the mental game, right? Like, so it's demoralizing to, like, if you just blow someone out 16-2, like it fuels your team. It just gives you power. You're just like, look at what we did. But then you demoralize the other teams. You're like, look at what they did to us. And it adds so much more to the element of the sport. So I think you allow those blowouts, just like I know last year, they were talking about removing the concede to where you can't concede a point unless you didn't have a player live. And the argument was, if you had smart enough players, they could just run out of bounds. And, I kind of like the no concede thing, because, again, if you want to make the sport palatable, let the carnage happen. Let that guy get double bunkered at the end and let it be televised, because, everybody loves NASCAR, but at the end of the day, you kind of want to see, you want to see a car wreck. You don't want anybody to get hurt. You want everybody to walk away from that car wreck A-okay, but you want to see a car wreck.
Yeah,
That's why
100%.
MMA. I mean, MMA is huge, absolutely huge, and people want to see people get punched square in the face. You know, it's just like
I mean,
it's what
it's
sells.
like when I was a firefighter. It's like when I was a firefighter, I wanted to go to a house fire. I didn't want anybody to get hurt, and I didn't want anybody to lose their house. But I wanted to go to. I wanted the excitement. It's same thing with anything else. So I think in order to make the sport incredibly palatable, you're going to sacrifice the integrity of the sport. But I think not fully. I think you have to give up certain things. Like I mean, I think I think either the mercy rule's got to go, or the flag, or the concede's got to go to start. Like alleviate one of those two. Let us have like just points where teams get the dog shit kicked out of them, or let us see where that guy gets ran down by three people because he's got no one left and hasn't figured it out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that was the issue with the concede. Is like the concede is such an important part of clock management. And if you have the lead, I mean, goodness, you could really manipulate that rule if there's no concede. But yeah, I don't know. There's not like a concede in other sports to stop the clock.
I mean, so that's where we could argue you're a professional athlete, right? You're supposed to be the master of your craft, and you should be aware of the body count at all times. And if the body count's not favorable and you prepare for this, run out of bounds and your coach can concede. Like, you eliminate yourself. So
right. Okay. So the coach can concede once all of your players are dead.
Right.
Okay.
That was what the talk was going to be.
Right.
Like once there's no longer any live players, you can concede to protect the clock.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Again, it would be exciting because you would see a little bit of a bloodbath, and it would teach players actually how to play the game better. In all honesty, that's the way you're supposed to play.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, when people are like, the coach needs to do this, well, as a fan, as a spectator, as a media guy, I'd argue the players should be of the caliber to know what's going on.
Totally. Yeah, I don't disagree, brother.
It would make for some exciting clips for you.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely some selfish, but I can be selfish about how do we get this sports scene, right? Like, I'm going to try to help it, but definitely the clips. Like, I want it. Like, there's so many times in practice, like I'm sitting there filming and someone's about to get killed, and they're like, "All right, get good." I'm like, "Come on, guys! Like, let them get it." Or even in the events, like I get it. Like, you're playing the clock. Like Ryan Brand's probably the king of the clock. Like I'm just, come on, let me see what's gonna happen, Ryan. And he's like, "Nah, we lost two guys with on the flag." Like, the buzzer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my opinion. I could be wrong. This could be the best variation, but I definitely. But I also think too, if you have 10-minute halves, then we're not worried as the clock as much, right? Like you have 2 10-minute halves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and we appreciate you, coming on here and sharing your thoughts with the community. And before we let you go, I would like to know what kind of, and I'm sure all the media heads out there would like to know, what kind of a rig are you running, and how are you shooting out there on these paintball fields? Like, how are you capturing these moments, and what settings, and the kind of rig that you're running with?
So primarily, I use a Canon R5C with a 70 to 200 lens. And I like to use tripod or monopod most of the time, but settings are, the ISO as low as I can keep it. So typically between 100 to 500 on a sunny day. Aperture, I like to do between 2.8 and 3.5. Shutter speed, for the most part, I want to be between 700 and 1200. And then everything else you kind of adjust.
Yeah, on the fly.
For me, it's personal preference. Like, I like servo autofocus. I use center point autofocus. But yeah, I shoot Canon. It's the biggest thing.
Dope.
Nice.
Everybody else seems to love Sony. I can't stand their menu system because Enrique, Verbal, all of them, they all shoot Sony.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm sure everybody that is out there shooting video and trying to be like RyGuy Media, they appreciate all of your insights, and we appreciate you coming on the show and talking about everything that you're doing in the game. And we wish you nothing but the best and continued support from us at PTG and everything that you're doing, Ry. So thank you, brother, for stopping
Hell yeah,
by here,
brother.
man.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Ryan,
have a good one.
Ryan, real quick, where can
Yep.
everybody? I mean, everyone here probably already follows you, but just let's give your IG handle a shout out.
RyGuy Media. You should be able to just type in, RY Media.
Perfect.
And RYGY Media, or it's technically RY_Guy Media. But yeah, just RyGuy Media on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. The only thing I don't do is Twitter.
There we
Cool.
go.
It's not my thing.
Awesome.
But,
Everybody,
all right,
go.
All right,
thanks,
brother.
guys. I
Hell
appreciate
yeah.
it.
Thank you, Ry.
Dude, we appreciate
Excellent,
you.
Excellent
Have a
segment
great
here.
night.
Appreciate you.
You too, bro.
Later, brother.
Peace. Everyone
That
go
was a
give
great
Ry a
conversation.
follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. Great conversation with one of the league's best media moguls, Fantastic to hear him, and hear his thoughts, his insights. He's been in the game a long time, so love that.
Yes. Yeah, he's been crushing it. And we actually have another guest that we are going to get on the horn. One of my favorite people in the game of paintball. He is a young, just hungry paintball player. His name is Kieran, and he was out at World Cup having a ton of fun, running around and hyping up all the players. He was in the pits, hyping up me, hyping up Heat, hyping up Dynasty, and he's just one of the sweetest kids you'll ever meet in your entire life. Our brother, and we are going to get him on the horn here in a second. I think you have the phone number dialed in there.
I do. Yes. We're going to hit him with a little Facebook call here. Yeah. Kieran is the man. He has faced quite a bit of adversity and shows up to these events with a big smile on his face, a roaring heart, and he really has come out and been a bright light. I mean, he gave us, I think I said this on the last show, but he gave us one of the most intense speeches before one of our games. It was mind blowing. He it just honestly coming from him, this younger kid in this big stage, he got the whole Dynasty team together and gave a pretty deep, loud, powerful speech before one of our games. And everybody was fired up. It was epic. It was really cool. So excited to get Kieran on the show. Let's give him a call.
He's the man, and he does tremendous work spreading awareness for Williams syndrome as well. He's just the best kid in the world.
Oh, he's gonna try to video chat us. Okay, so we're gonna do the old spick and span special.
Okay,
I'm accepting it. What's happening? Sorry, guys.
Here we go.
My phone's not allowing me to accept this. What the hell? Oh, there we are. There we
You
are.
got him?
Kieran.
Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
Kieran.
You are live on PTG, my friend.
Hello,
Let's go,
everybody.
baby.
It's K-Dog from San Diego.
He's got his Dynasty jersey on. Look at that.
Yes, sir. Kieran,
Ooh,
you're
yeah,
a legend, bud. Hey,
Can't
Kieran,
beat that.
didn't I promise you
Yo,
at
what's
World
up,
Cup?
Tyler?
I promised you at World Cup I would get you on PTG. I'm a man of my word, and we are partying right now together. Let's go, baby.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Tyler
Let me
knows
just
some
tell you
people
guys.
at PTG. He's able to pull some strings.
Oh, yeah, I know a lot. So, how does it feel to have me on the show? Huh? How about
Amazing,
Feels
brother.
amazing.
Let's give him the
round of applause,
round of
baby.
applause, brother.
Shout out to Kieran. Tell us
Yeah,
about
baby.
World Cup.
Let's go.
Tell us about I want to know how
Okay.
World Cup was for you. It was an amazing event. Tell us about all of the fun stuff that you had going on at World Cup.
Oh, okay. So, great question, Tyler. I traveled in on Wednesday. It got delayed Thursday because of the hurricane, The hurricane came into town, and we thought we were not going to see 3 days of competition because the hurricane. We thought we were going to not see the field yet because the hurricane must have ruined the fields and some tents out there, and I was nervous out there, but I traveled in, played my 5-man before visiting the Dynasty pit for semis, and then actually I was with them on Saturday too. So yeah, it was great to finally meet the boys and see see the love that I can get from this community.
That's awesome.
All of you on PTG know that I'm the young goat and I'm one of the best in the game. So if you ever see me in a Dynasty Blue, you know who to talk to. So
Yeah,
shout out to
baby.
all my Dynasty boys, Marcelo, Yosh, Rao, Tyler Harmon, the Houston guys. You guys played a great one against us. It was very, very, very obvious that you tried your best, we tried our best. You know, that's all we can do as competitors is respect
Yeah.
on the field and off. It doesn't matter who you are. You play for a different team than us. It doesn't matter. We still love you as a brother because you're still part of Dynasty's legacy. You know?
Yeah.
Powerful.
That's amazing, Kieran. And it's always the best energy, dude, when we all get together and we all are hanging out. And I want to know more about your paintball career. So you said that you were playing 5-man. Who did you play with?
I played with the 5-man. The 5-man team I played for is the Hormesis Most Wanted line. So my friend Parker actually invited me onto the
Nice.
team, so I accepted that role at World Cup and got a 5-pack out of it. So you know
Hey.
that's on Hormesis right now. It's trending. It's worldwide. So go watch it for yourself and see what your boy K Dog can do.
Damn, K Dog.
Let's go,
I
K
didn't know you
Dog.
had it like that, bro.
You.
Oh, I had it like that, and I told you on Saturday we were going to be the most dominant team out there. And what did I say? What did I
Yep.
say? I said it, and we did it. So good job, boys.
Absolutely.
There we go, man.
Yeah.
Dude,
Kieran,
you're
give
an
us a little
inspiration,
rundown
dude.
of. Yeah, brother, 100%, absolute. I was singing your praises before we got you on the phone here of that pregame huddle that you gave us right before our match, and it just gave me chills, gave the whole team chills. You came in, you got loud, you were powerful. It was really epic, dude, and I just really want to thank you for that moment that you gave us as a team. It was fantastic.
I mean, I knew you guys needed a little energy boost. I know Oliver was there too. You know, that was an energy boost. But I think when I put on that jersey, it came out. You know, the Dragon just said, dig deep and find it. Find what you can do. And you boys run a very great company, Field Force One. Shout out to the boys. You know who you are. So, yeah, I'm sponsored by Dynasty this year. And honestly, it's an honor to be on the team finally after so many years of waiting, you know. It's never ever going to change like that. I promise you that if I ever compete with one of the lines, I want to compete with Marcelo. You know,
Oh,
compete
man.
compete in the bunkers and see what we can do as a team together. See what we can build on.
I love that,
Dude,
Kieran.
I love that.
Man,
You got the
I
heart
hope
of a
it happens
lion,
one day
kid.
too. Yes, you do.
Heart of a lion.
You do.
Did you guys know I was born on the year of the dragon?
What?
No.
Let them know.
2000 is the year of the dragon. I was born on the year of the dragon. So, booyah, baby. Dynasty is my team, baby number one.
Dude,
Hell yeah,
let them
Kieran.
know,
That's super
Kieran.
dope. I love it. I love it. That's fantastic, dude.
Let me just
That's
tell you
awesome.
guys, these guys are some of the best in the game. And I'm one of the young ones. I'm getting my own paintball trading cards from Ryan Pluto. I bet you guys know him very well.
Yeah.
And he's one of my friends. So if you ever get my trading card in a pack, send it over to K Dog. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sign it for you.
Tight.
Yes.
Oh yeah, brother.
Yes. And shout out to Ryan for everything that he's doing. Those trading cards are awesome. And if you ever get a K-Dog one, be sure to hit him up or hit us up and we'll get you guys in contact so you can get that signed up for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
You guys know that I'm going to give you guys a little speech on what got me into this sport. You guys ready?
Yes.
Be ready
Yes.
with some tissues because you're going to start crying here in a minute. Hold
Oh
on.
boy.
Let me get
I'm ready.
Dynasty, Tyler Harmon, Marcelo Margot. I never would have known what team would choose me to be their next player or coach. I didn't know that you guys would accept me in the community as one of your own. Who am I to be a paintballer when I'm a kid with special needs growing up? You know, I've dreamed of playing on Dynasty for decades. I've seen your World Cup debuts there. They were great. I love seeing those videos. I love the new JT jerseys this season. Those were a great fashion choice. And shout out to JT and Dynasty Paintball, you know, the Champions Club. All my friends are in there, so am I. And Alex and Yosh, you guys are my true inspirations and heroes. All of you in the community are heroes. You guys do not understand the impact you have on little kids and people like me, of course, who give those speeches because I want you guys to feel my energy. I want you guys to feel what I feel every day, waking up and being grateful for the game we play. It's not just going to be me that's developing kids. It's going to be you guys too. You guys do clinics. You guys do legendary things for people in our community, and we appreciate you for it more than you know. So be ready, Marcelo, because I might order you one of my ugly jerseys out of friendship. I might do that tonight.
Hmm.
So,
Dude,
Oh
we
my
love you
gosh.
so much, Kieran. I hope you know how much we love you, bro. And you are an honorary member of Houston Heat. You are an honorary member of Dynasty, and you are an honorary member of this community of paintball players. And we are so grateful for your energy and the beautiful heart that you have in this game, man. You legitimately are breaking me down right now, bro. And I hope you know how much we love you, bro, forever.
it was hard. It was hard keeping myself composed after getting that jersey because you don't know how much it takes to earn it. You have to fight through the semi-pros. You have to fight through the beginning of stages of paintball, and it's hard because some people don't understand the grind it takes. Some people quit early because they think they can't do it. I'm here to tell you right now, you can do it. Put your heart out there. People will
Let's
reach out
go.
and they will see you and they will want you to work harder just so you can be like us. We're legendary players because we work hard. It takes a lot of hours to play this game. I spent my years and years playing because I wanted to be just like the team that I so much love. I don't care if you love me or not. I'm Kieran Johnson for the person I am. I'm special ed. Yes, I have a disability. Tyler has one of my jerseys, the
Dude,
second
you
edition
are
jersey that
perfect. Let me
I
just
gave
tell you,
to him
Kieran,
out of.
you are perfect. You are absolutely perfect. And we can't wait to watch your journey flourish all throughout the years playing paintball, bro. We got your back all the way. PTG Nation has your back. The paintball community as a whole has your back, and we'll always be there for you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
You know
Marcelo, can
that.
I ask you a couple questions, please?
Put me on the spot.
All right, Marcel. So, what if I got you a jersey? Which edition would you like? The first, second, or third?
I love the number 3.
Yes, he does.
Okay, I see. I see. What about you, Tyler? If I ordered you another one?
Oh, you already blessed me. I cannot accept anymore. And I still need to get it signed by you. So I got to make that happen.
You do. And Tyler, don't say I already blessed you. That was just the beginning of your surprise. Don't even
What?
start with that. It is. It's our legacy together as a team. As a brother, you said I am an honorary member of each team in the league. I know
That's
that.
right.
But I want to honor you guys in my friendship because I believe that I can do better to be who you guys are to me. So if you guys can tell me about what it was like for you guys at World Cup and meeting me for the second time this year, because I met Tyler last year at World Cup. So how was that? Tell me about that. I want to hear a little spill from
Dude,
y'all.
it's the greatest. It's my favorite. I look forward to it all year long, going to World Cup so I can hang out with you and have some smiles and watch paintball games with you. And I mean, it means the world to me. And just so you know, once we get off this call, we have another caller that we're gonna bring on here in just a minute. But once we get off of this call with you, I want you to send me your address. We're gonna send you one of our new PTG shirts. Send us your size, and we're gonna get that sent over to you as well. Just for everything that you do and for play the game and for paintball. We just are so appreciative of you in this game. And I can't wait till World Cup next year to see you again. It's the one of the things I look forward to the most.
Hey, Marcelo, what about you?
I can't say it any better than Tyler just did, man. You brought such a big energy this year. Like I said, your pre-game speech in our huddle, I hope somebody got it on camera. I really do, because your heart
I
was
hope so.
pouring
I won't.
out, and it was something. I'm not going to lie to you right now. I didn't think that you were going to inspire us in the way that you did. When you asked us to come together, it takes a lot to get the Dynasty group together and say something that inspires a group of experienced individuals such as Dynasty. And you you over-delivered. It was amazing. I remember we all look around at each other and we're like, what did this kid just do? What just happened? Wow. It was amazing. It was amazing, Kieran.
Man,
You got us fired up.
I told you I have that dragon within me. It's deep. It's all the way back. You know how
Yeah,
it goes
buddy.
with me.
Yep.
Hey, Tyler, why don't you ask Todd Martinez, your coach, if I can have an honorary jersey from Houston? Because I would love to do that and maybe
Dude,
help out the organization.
consider it.
Whoa. I mean, you're going to help us? You're going to help them, dude. Kieran, you got to choose a side, buddy.
Hey, brother, it's a hey, we're donating to profits and we're having fun doing it, right?
Yeah,
Yes, I love
that's
it.
it,
I'm only
baby.
giving you
You know,
a hard
I
time. I'm just playing.
We're just having fun. But you already know,
I was
kid.
like,
You already know we're going to take care of you.
No. Yeah, you're the
We
man,
got you
Kieran. You got to
covered,
get
man.
one of
Hey.
those Heat jerseys.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna bring that
I
to
want
life,
to say
Kieran.
thank you to all of you.
Yes.
I want to say
course,
thank
bro.
you to PTG, all of my friends, all of you for all that you've done for our community and our players. Like me, I never expected to earn something such as prestigious as this jersey on right now. Like, it doesn't even feel real yet, you know? Like Marcelo said, that inspiring speech I gave to Dynasty was because I felt it. I felt the energy. Even Alex in the game against Tampa Bay felt the energy. You know what I mean? And it's like you play those games on that field, and you feel the crowd cheering you on, and you want to go out there and you want to crush their face because you know what you're doing. You're doing it for your families who are watching you in the stands. You know, I was glad I was able to go in the pits and actually be a part of something bigger than myself, because I never ever thought after last year that this would be who I am today. I'm a young goat growing up, you know. I cannot wait
baby.
to see what happens. Maybe you guys will surprise me with something that I'm not ready for. Who knows? Who knows what this year will bring? It may be blessings, it may be something. We'll see.
You're the man, Kieran.
Life is
Thank
it's
you.
going to be jam packed, and we'll be talking to you soon. Okay, thank you so much for coming on the show, Kieran.
Send us your shirt size
Thank you.
and address. We need it all right?
Hey, don't worry, boys. You know I got you. As long as you got my back, I got yours. Let's go, boy.
We got you, Kieran.
For life.
All right, buddy.
Let's go,
we'll talk
Kieran.
to you soon. Hit me.
TYNASC.
What?
Nah.
You already know.
All right, boys. See you all later.
See you, buddy.
All right, bro. Peace.
Let's
I love him so much.
do too, but
He's
it's not
truly the best.
hanging up right here. Did that work? Dude,
Thank
my
you so much for
goodness.
coming on the
Just
show, Kieran.
heart shattering, man. What a inspired young man who just perseveres, you know?
I legitimately
Yeah,
he got me. He got me good. And
me too.
I'm captivated by him. And we're just so lucky to have a spirit like that in the game with us. And he's just, he's got the biggest heart in paintball, man. We love you, Kieran. Thank you for coming on the show, brother.
100%. Kieran is the man. I hope video surfaces of his speech.
I know.
At World Cup.
We got to see that.
With Dynasty, I mean, that's like remarkable. It's just unbelievable to excel in that moment. And he did. I'm not kidding. He absolutely did.
Legend.
Here we go. I do know we've got another guest.
Yes.
Another one.
Bring him in. We got
See if he
Kailyn from Inspired Paintball.
The person you are trying to reach is not accepting.
Oh boy. And
I put the wrong number.
For everybody that doesn't know, give Inspired Paintball a follow. He was running around on his own accord, just completely rallied and got a goat suit and ran around in a goat suit, which was amazing. Pappy the goat.
Does he not have iPhone? Because I'm like, we need to. Oh, yes. Let's see.
Hello.
Hello, brother. Hey, Kailyn.
Hey, guys.
Hold on.
What's up, dude?
Why isn't it letting me FaceTime you? Do you have an iPhone?
No, I don't.
Bro, you're an Android user?
Welcome to the show.
All right. So this has been a great conversation. We got to go. The show's running late. Oh,
Sorry, guys.
bro. I was hoping that you were going to answer in the goat costume and we'd be on FaceTime.
Not tonight, but yeah, I can do that sometime for sure. We need a Pappy the Goat segment.
Pappy the Goat,
Yes.
PTG, baby. I love it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome to PTG, Kailyn. We're honored to have you on, bro.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, guys. This is like literally a dream. Like, well, my real dream is on its way, where I have my whole episode for just me. But
There
this
we
is the
go.
stepping stone. I'm excited, man. This is super cool.
Awesome.
Well, keep
Kailyn,
crushing it with
let's get to that. Yeah.
Yeah, Inspired Paintball. Keep crushing it, and very well. We'll have our own Inspired Paintball episode at some point, you know?
Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I know it is. I think 2023 is going to be pretty big.
So Kailyn,
Yes,
why
sir.
don't you, for the listeners, give a little introduction of who you are and why, you're on the show and what you do for the community, what your brand is?
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Kailyn. Been in paintball. Started in '94, so I've been around the block. I did take a little break whenever I was teaching. I was an elementary school teacher for 11 years, and I did play and keep up with stuff during that time. But anyways, just had this dream all along, like literally since college, almost 20 years ago, to like start a paintball company. And I'm in the early stages. I can't even pretend that I'm, where I want to be yet, but and pretty much everything I do, I'm giving away. But Inspired Paintball came out of kind of some dark times, some as far as personally, and some difficult times, and basically was looking at a lot of inspirational quotes and things like that, and I would post stuff like that, and then I would post paintball pictures, and then post more inspirational stuff, and just kind of evolved into Inspired Paintball, more of just something for me on Instagram, and then it turned into the idea for a company, and so I have a full-time job doing that, but just different things on the side to kind of get going, do leather work, leather products, and t-shirts right now. I've got some stickers, but I've got some other ideas that are pretty big. So yeah, I'm just kind of.
What ideas do you got?
Oh man, so let's see. There's one idea that is actually, I've got a friend of mine that's an engineer, and he's working on it right now, that I can't tell anyone. But it's revolutionary. So
there we go,
all
baby.
I could say
Bro,
about
how
that.
are you gonna come on PTG with no juice? And for the listeners, really quick, Kailyn is one of the goats. He's one of the PTG goat members. He's been a big part of the community here for a while. But dude, what the hell? How are you gonna come on and say, "Oh, I got all these great ideas, but I can't tell you anything about them"?
He doesn't want to give them away. Someone's stealing.
Exactly. I talked to Tyler about this one time, just messaging, and he said, hold those ideas tight to the chest so that no one steals them. So this one I gotta hold on to. But other than that, I've got so many ideas. It's just it's impossible.
And I gotta say, you've made some insane goat with the goat emblem flasks and like just leatherwork products for the community that are outstanding. I actually have my Houston Heat awesome flask that you've made, and you do an amazing job with that. And one of the reasons we wanted to bring you on is just to shine light on your, like you said, you started this project, Inspired Paintball, and we're always all about the grassroots of paintball, and you've been a tremendous just honorary member of the GOAT squad in the Discord and go above and beyond. You went and bought a GOAT mascot and ran around World Cup. For everybody that doesn't know, you're talking to Pappy the GOAT right now. Yes, he just absolutely crushed it. You were taking pictures with all the kids and just being a light in the industry. So anybody like that, we're always gonna give you, your flowers right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you deserve it. Yeah. And we're just super grateful for you. So everybody, please go over and follow Inspired Paintball as well. And we can't can't wait to see what you cook up with that project, brother.
Oh yeah. No, that, the Pappy the Goat thing. I mean, that was just some random idea I had because of playing for the Goat Squad these last 2 years. Since it started. Actually, last year, whenever it came about, I went to World Cup not planning to play at all. So I was, but they needed a player, and so I was there, and I was a goat, and they're like, "We need a player." So I got to play, and I was like, "Oh man, that was too much fun." So this whole year since 2021 has been like, "Oh man, looking forward to 10-man with the Goat Squad," and then the idea for the mascot came into my mind, and I bought some really cruddy looking stuff at first, and then I was like, man, I kept looking for stuff to try to find like a really cool
dude. You crushed it.
goat mascot, you know?
The one that you got was insane. It's like this like really decadent, amazing mascot, and you just like I said, you were running around. There were so many kids taking pictures with you, and like that. That's just timeless stuff. So we love you, and we're so grateful for you being a part of the Goat Squad. The Discord is amazing. Always being active in there in the chat rooms and helping out other players, and just being someone that everyone can bounce ideas off of and have fun. That's what it's all about. That's what paintball is all about, is the community.
Absolutely. And the Discord in general, but the Goat Squad, the Goat Club, all that. It's truly a life changer. And I know I can sound a little melodramatic about talking about PTG and what it is to me, but I mean, it's a huge reason why I decided to kind of move forward with the idea and with the Inspired Paintball. You guys and what you do for paintball is it's huge. I don't know if there's a way for us to express it enough. And all of the goats and everyone in PTG fam is so great. And honestly, the Pappy the Goat would not have happened. I didn't have the money to afford that nice of a mascot, and everyone came and chipped in and made it happen. So it was awesome. Once I got in that suit, it was hot as could be, but I transformed and honestly look forward to doing it again, because that was something that really I didn't expect to enjoy as much as I did. You can barely see out of that thing, and it is super hot, but it is so much fun. I can only do like an hour, a little over an hour at a time, but man, it was fun.
Well, you're a trooper, man, and everyone had so much fun watching you run around, and you're just a spectacular person in the game. And paintball is a special game. I know that it saves so many lives in so many ways, and it has changed my life in tremendous ways from a young age. And I know Marcelo is the same way. And there's so many stories that are so similar. And that's one of the gifts of the game, as Matty Marshall would say, is those interactions, those those beautiful relationships that we're able to build, and they last a lifetime. And we'll be able to all grow old and play this wild game and have fun, running around to these different cities and playing paintball. And it's all, thanks to this beautiful community. And thank you to everyone who's a part of PTG World and the, the chat and just the community as a whole who tunes in, listens to the shows. It means the world to us. And we're, I speak on behalf of Marcelo as well, but I know that he feels the same way. We're so honored and just grateful. Like, the amount of love that we receive from this community just fills our cup up over the rim, and it's runneth over. You know what I mean? And we're forever grateful for this community and for this game. And we can't wait to keep growing and having more shows and keep having fun with this process. That's what it's all about.
Facts.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Well, hey, we got a goat meeting.
Was great.
We got a goat meeting tonight. If you're listening to it, it's Wednesday when you're hearing this, or if you're hearing it at midnight, Wednesday, we're having the goat meeting, and we can't wait to see you there. We're going to have a lot of fun. And, there's some wild things that are going to happen. It's going to pop off. Might blow your mind.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
The goat meetings
Yes,
are the
sir.
best, man. I don't think I've missed one since I started it, and as a goat, and I look forward to it every month. So
Oh yeah,
Hell
brother.
yeah,
This
baby.
month is going to be epic. We have a ton of really cool giveaways. We're bringing in a few new OG goats. We got some very exciting stuff to talk about too. Some behind the scenes stuff that we talked about actually on this show that we can't quite share with the general public yet, but we're going to share with the goats tomorrow night or tonight.
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, Wednesday night,
Right?
Yeah.
Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific. So if you're not a goat yet, you could still get in there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure. I highly recommend it, guys. It's worth it.
Awesome.
It's definitely worth it.
Hell yeah, Kailyn. Thank you, brother.
Well, we can't wait to see you soon. And thank you for coming on PTG. We hope you have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow evening.
Hey,
Yeah.
Kailyn. Whoa, wait, really quick.
I'm here.
Yeah, one last
I'm here.
time. Please share your socials and where everybody can find you and follow your stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So right now it's just all on Instagram, inspired_paintball.
Yes.
That's just kind of where I'm starting and kind of what I'm sticking to until more things fall into place. And I don't want to launch anything or do anything until it's ready. So that's where I'm at right now.
Awesome.
And real quick, have you guys already answered any of the questions from the Discord?
Not yet, no. But if you had one in there that you want to ask live, we can.
Absolutely.
Well, I was going to say, just make sure to answer mine about these. Well,
no, you got to ask
if you
live.
Want me to ask it?
Ask live.
All right.
Yeah.
Ask live. Okay. So I remember them. The first one was for Tyler, and it was like advice on how someone can be as energetic and get as much energy as you have, or something that it can at least inspire some of us to get towards that, because I know there's something inherent in you that is so energetic, but it feels like some of us can somehow tap into that a little more.
Well, your first and second question, sorry, tied it, but his second question is about me and the water aliens. They're actually the same question. Tyler is an alien. So that's,
okay.
Yeah. But
yeah,
okay.
They go hand in hand.
I'm sorry, Ty, go
Yeah.
Ty, go ahead. Go ahead and give her a response.
I mean, I just love people. I love the energy that I get from people. I love I trust life. I trust this process, and it's a wild experience being a human on planet Earth in 2022. And we gotta light it up. We gotta be lighter. We gotta have light hearts and not be so dense and be heavy. And there's a lot of things that can weigh us down, and rightfully so. But we got to remember how fortunate we are, and just when you walk with a lot of gratitude and you're able to really connect with people and open up your heart, you can really have a profound effect, not only on yourself, but on the individuals around you. So just trying to be a catalyst for a lighthearted movement, and just being someone that can connect. We're all human. I'm but we're all human, and we're all trying to make a way in this world. And so we just got to be empathetic for, everything around us, and try to see things from different perspectives, and just, be the best version we can be to help ourselves and our community, and have fun, enjoy yourself. It can be a really, really great experience if you choose to, walk with that kind of a cadence. It takes effort. I'm not saying it's easy. I get in slumps. I have rough days, but I just try to remember how fortunate I am just to even be able to have the opportunity to, to play paintball, to share the love of this game, to, be a husband and have two beautiful children, and have beautiful family and friends all around me, best friends like Marcelo and so many others. And there's so many things to be grateful for if we choose to remember that. And it takes some wherewithal, but just having fun, enjoy yourself. That's what it's all about. Enjoy you.
Yeah. So like, be inspired, right?
Be inspired.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes, sir.
Nice. That's a good answer. I appreciate that.
Thanks, brother.
For sure. Are you going to ask the second part of the question for me, or?
Yep.
Yeah, Marcelo, I got to know more about this theory.
Okay. What's the question?
The water aliens. Well, okay,
Here,
so
I got it. I got it right here.
No, he's got it. He's got it. He's got it.
You want to read
Okay.
it? I don't have it right in front of me. I just remember, are these?
Okay.
Have you seen The Abyss? Real quick,
No.
the movie The Abyss. All right, you've got to watch it.
Yeah, I know all about it. There's a
It's
whole
so good.
infamous. Got it. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, basically the question is, tell us more about this alien theory. Like, are they from space and they came to Earth and went into the water, like in The Abyss, or are you saying they originated in the water and they're exploring upward into Earth?
Yeah, I'm saying they originated in the water and are exploring up into the Earth's atmosphere. Would it make sense to me for them to be aliens from space and then come and hide in our oceans? Like, if you have that capability, like, you're just gonna, like, why would you hide in the oceans? You just come in and leave when you please, and you would probably explore other areas. My thought is that they originated in the depths of the ocean.
I like that.
And
I like that a lot.
Yeah, totally. It's wild, dude. It's a wild.
So, like, for them, coming up out of the water is like going into space.
Yes, exactly. 100%.
Or for like us going into the depths of the water where we can't.
Exactly. I'm like, it actually makes fucking sense. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Especially,
That's crazy.
All their ships look kind of like submarines and stuff.
Yeah, it's like holy shit, maybe there's something there, dude. I don't know. I've seen some crazy creatures in the ocean, and that's only like 10% of what we know, 20% of what we know. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Intriguing to say the least.
100%.
So Tyler just needs to tell us about his people.
I know. I'm like, Tyler, just let me know the secrets.
Yeah, I'm holding back here. I bite my tongue every episode.
Oh man, brother, thank you so damn much for joining us. Sir. We'll see you tomorrow night in the GOAT meeting, Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
Can't wait, and hope you have a great night, brother.
Same to you guys. Have fun, be safe, be inspired, and finish this show out strong, guys.
Hell yeah, we will.
Love it. Thanks,
all right,
bro.
Absolutely.
Peace.
See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Peace. Epic. Dude.
I love it.
Epic. I do too.
Ty,
we have a ton of Discord questions.
Let's rip it. Let's go into them.
Yeah, let's dive into these bad boys. Discord showed out. This is a great one. I'll start out here. Mole King, flashing back to 2005. You have a bandana. Do you cowboy up and wear it around your neck, or take flight and soar with the tail feather?
Yo, I'm gonna have to. I'm a cowboy up. Wear a bandito around the neck.
Bro, what's funny is I literally had during that time, I wore both. I had the neck and the tail feather, and they were matching, and that was like the style, was doing both.
It's coming back. It's on its way.
Oliver wore it at Cup.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Ollie
wore the Hormesis fucking cowboy thing. I was like, I don't even know if that's legal, bro.
For real.
What are you doing?
Send it.
Go send it.
Send it, baby.
Okay.
All right. We got the Mole King. Thank you, Mole King. And for everybody that doesn't know, Mole King is Tank Dangle. He's in the house. So support Tank Dangle as well.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Young Stevie, you have to pick a chain restaurant to eat every meal for the rest of your life. Where will you be suffering for all your future meals?
I mean, a chain restaurant? Like, wouldn't Whole Foods kind of count?
That's not
a restaurant. If Whole Foods counts, it's a no-brainer, dude.
No Whole Foods.
I mean, there's a restaurant inside. There's
not
tables.
All of them. No.
There's every single Whole Foods has a hot bar.
A restaurant.
And they have a seating area.
What is a restaurant?
Waiters
I guess we would have to.
Well, yeah. What is a restaurant? You're right. Okay. Look, if Whole Foods is allowed, then obviously that's a slam dunk, easy.
Mm-hmm.
If Whole Foods is not, and you could even say only the hot bar stuff, right? So like you can't even go to all the other stuff in Whole Foods. But okay, let's say Whole Foods isn't involved. I guess it has to be Chipotle. I hate that it would be, but like that's all your main food groups that are healthy. You got salad, steak, chicken, like you could do burritos. I don't know. What else do you do?
What else do you do? Body.
Do you do pho? See, I don't think so. It's as clean of food as you can get.
This is true. I would probably have to go with maybe like Panera Bread. I think I would choose Panera.
Oh, bologna bread. Holy
Bologna
moly.
bread. Have you tried the mac and cheese?
Panera. Oh
They
my
got steak
God. I mean,
sandwiches. They
yeah,
got good stuff.
yeah. I know, but I don't know. I've never loved the quality of Panera bread. And like you get like a sandwich and it's like 2 pieces of steak and a lot of bread. I don't know. They do have a lot of choices with good salads and stuff.
Chipotle's up there for me too, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I mean, there actually is no answer that's gonna be good forever. That's the thing. It's like
No.
you're gonna be hosed. Yeah, that's
Roasted.
that's the thing. Yeah. Um, Pat G wants to know, will Dynasty be using the JT Triad loader next season? We will see. If the loader is ready, we will be using it. So we shall see.
There we go. Steve, SoCal Blaze. Marcelo, how long can Dynasty field players at the current level before needing to pass the torch? Do you see Dynasty doing a feeder team to groom the next group to fill those big shoes? And then he's got a question for me after that.
Yeah, I mean, great question, Steve. This is something that we're actively and constantly talking about. I roomed with Yosh at the last event, and I had a blunt discussion with him as well. I was like, hey, why don't you guys play as long as possible? But it would be nice to know some sort of time frame, right? So that we can kind of work on like, okay, is it 1 year? Is it 3 years, 2 years, 5 years? So that we can start seeing where that transition is going to be. And I think we've done a great job of bringing in young talent. I mean, we got Mikey Urena, who's really blossomed. And I mean, I remember last year, World Cup finals, on the webcast, there was like some talk of him being the finals MVP. That's how well he played at the World Cup. He's had multiple great events. Damian is really coming into his own. Nobody gets to see him play. He doesn't get a lot of play time on the team. He's the new guy. And so you guys don't see him, but we see him in practice, and the potential is massive. He's a straight athlete. He's a great dude. He's learning. He's soaking it in. Obviously bringing in Kyle Arturo, I think took a huge step forward at World Cup. He played great. I think the team is going to be in good hands when the 4 OGs, I think that's who you're referring to, Steve, is, Ryan, Yosh, Alex, and I'm including Oliver, but who knows if Oliver is going to be around next year, right? But once those guys step away, I think we're set up very well. Archie and I have had this conversation, like Dalton as well. I mean, it to me, that's going to be the greatest challenge and maybe not the greatest challenge, but it's going to be an exciting challenge. It's going to be something that's like you could really hang your hat on. If once those guys retire, can we carry the torch and help lead the team to more victories, right? Like that will be, to me, the ultimate success and something that I really look forward to. So I think we've had a great mix of bringing in new players and once roster spots free up, because those guys do finally decide to hang it up whenever that might be. I would imagine that means there's space for 1 or 2 players if we need to pick anybody up. And Dynasty is a very exciting place to play for, or exciting team to play for. So I think we're set up in the long term very well. We've had these discussions, through and through. The team is definitely looking long term, and we're in a good position to win now and build the future. I think we've done a good job with the new players. So yeah, I'm excited for the future of Dynasty.
Love that. Great question, Steve. And then his second question was, to me, Tyler, having such a great analytical mind, do you see yourself ever being a full-time coach and or owner? We need to harvest the knowledge. I don't know that I have the greatest analytical mind. I love this sport with all my heart. And, if any facet of the game that I'm involved in, I'm going to pour everything I have into it, whether I'm playing or coaching. Or maybe someday owning a team. Who knows? Maybe my kids will want to play paintball and I'll coach them and own a little team with those guys or something. I don't know where the future will take me, but I will definitely be involved in paintball in one aspect or another. Obviously, I'm playing and looking to push myself further than I've ever been as a player for Houston Heat, and definitely excited to continue training teams around the country and coaching and helping out in any way that I can. And, we have a lot of things that we're cooking up, Marcelo and myself, on the back end and looking to progress the game in various ways as well to make the product the best it can possibly be. So we're definitely involved and we'll continue to be involved for as long, as we can. And God willing, it's a long time and we can be a part of paintball forever. It's truly the best community in all of sports. I've played traditional sports, non-traditional sports, and nothing quite does, for me, what paintball does. And I know that's the same for a lot of people out there. It's an amazing game.
Totally. This is a great question from Pate G. Smith. Shout out to Pate too. He is the attorney that sponsors the pro events and offers, it's like $1,500 for move of the event. Pretty fabulous thing that he does there. He says, gentlemen, if you stop playing today and move to exclusively coaching and managing the team, for these 3 paintball teams, what adjustments in play calling, game playing tempo, and personnel would you make to increase success in 2023? 1 Infamous, 2 Uprising, and 3 Red Legion. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So let's see. Play calling, in-game tempo, personnel. I think that, paintball is such a finicky game. At any given moment, a player can go off if they just look a different way or make a different decision, So in regards to play calling, as a coach for Infamous, I think that, they have the roster, they have the personnel, and I know that they're play calling effectively. You have to go out there and you have to execute, and just be there. We talked a little bit in the beginning of the episode, just being alive, being connected, gaining the awareness, and then, making those moves accordingly. The tempo, that's got to be built through the practice, through the preparation, and making sure that we're all on the same page and having good conversations leading into matches and knowing how we're going to approach teams to build that tempo when we're playing different opponents. So for Infamous, Uprising, and Legion, I know Uprising spends a lot of time together. I know Infamous does. And Red Legion, I'm really hoping that they're going to be able to continue to be a dominant force in the league. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in the landscape of the world, and I'm praying that we can have them continue to be a dominant force in paintball with us for a long time and continue to build that tempo together and spend a lot of time together. I think some of the guys are stateside and some of the guys are back in Russia. So just making sure that wherever they're at, they're doing the work and playing as much paintball as they can. And for personnel, Infamous, Uprising, and Legion, I mean, they all have great players on the teams. Infamous, Legion, Uprising, and I'm really excited to watch Uprising take those next steps and become that next tier team. I think that, we say this quite a bit, but less is more in paintball. Less is more when you're doing it together with your team. You're alive, you're connected, we're shooting paint, holding zones, and then making educated decisions off that. I think that if they can develop those aspects of their game, then we could see a lot more development, on the field as well, and get some productivity and get up the ranks there. But that's a really deep question. That's a very deep question.
I would love to tackle it.
Yeah, hop in there, dude. Get in there.
Yeah, 100%. So for me, Infamous, I think as far as play calling, Travis Lemansky is a great mind. I think he's done a great job, but I think sometimes they're too predictable in the wildcat type of offense they're going to have, right? So it becomes one-dimensional when you're always crazy, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It really does. And so you can kind of contain that. I think, Infamous to me is the most glaring one out of this because they had a terrible World Cup. They completely underachieved this year. They have a good roster. I don't think they have a great roster anymore for a couple of reasons. Cody was battling injury. That's a huge hit to them, right? If he's healthy, helps them a ton. And losing Greg Sewers was a big, big hit because what it did is it forced Harrison to play both sides and try to fill that hole. And so they were always light with an attacker on one side, like an experienced attacker. I love Zach Patient. He played great. I love Jonah. I think Jonah is going to be really good one day, but he just doesn't have the experience yet. They don't have a true snake player that is reliable on that side. They're trying to figure out, they have athleticism over there. They have speed, they have skill, but they don't have experience. And so I think that is really hurting them this year because it's forced Harrison, depending on the field layout, to go over there, which takes him, when Greg was on the team, Greg would attack the Dorito side and did it so well. And that allowed Harrison to kind of always play the snake side. But now Harrison has to fill the hole on the Dorito side, and they don't quite have a go-to snake player yet. So they got to fill that gap if they want to take the next step, in my opinion. They need that one more like experienced attacker. Yeah, that's to me, so tempo and play calling are kind of the same thing there. Uprising, I think it comes down to their practices. The top teams know what teams practice who, right? We always know, like, okay, weekend 1, Heat was out at X Factor. We were at Impact. Like, you know that stuff. I never hear what Uprising's doing. I don't know what they're doing. Every so often, they'll come out like 2 times a year to play us, maybe once a year. That's not enough. You can't just show up to these major events and see these top level teams for your first time. And you're not going to learn about the field well if you're getting low quality practices, and you're not going to know what to do against the experienced teams in the event if you haven't been grinding against them. So they have a roster that is very talented. They've broken into the top 4 before. I think if they really committed, and so maybe it's a funding thing. I get it. It's expensive to fly and travel and go to these places. But if they could really commit to getting better practices, I think they could be a lot better. And maybe a personnel pickup. Maybe you pick up like one more, just one experienced player. Again, funding always comes into that. And then Red Legion, personnel, they do need one more player. It's depth, right? Like they have 5 guys that are studs. And if their starting 5 is on, they're winning the tournament. But in pro paintball now, it's like, it's hard to have all 5 connecting at the same time. And that's why we're so fortunate on Dynasty Heat. We have the depth where like, okay, hey, if someone's a little bit off, you just plug someone else in and they're on and you're good. But outside of that, I wouldn't change much with Red Legion. Their system, everything is working. And I think they're close. It's one of those things where they may not have gotten any wins recently, but they're right there. And if you look at the way they've lost games, it's like, it's super close. One thing here, one thing there. So I wouldn't change much. I mean, that's a top level, elite level organization. They have some of the best talent in the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they could maybe a little bit of depth would help, but just even for like, preserving their starters through the prelims, just so that they have energy come Sunday. But I wouldn't change much there. I think they're close. I think they're such a respectable organization. Infamous to me is the biggest one out of here because I love Infamous. They're such a great organization, great brand, great team. They do have a lot of talent and they definitely underperformed this year. So I think it's, they need to get one guy, one player. I think if they make one big personnel pickup, that would change everything for them. I really do.
Very well said. And there's a lot of different things that can be applied to help those organizations, but they're right there. It's one of those things where you got to go out there and you got to get it done, All right, let's see. We got a lot of questions in here tonight. This is amazing.
We do.
All right. I had a good one. We're going to go with Bunker Slug. Shout out to the Bunker Slug. With the season of giving upon us, what is the most memorable impact you have made on another person, young or old, in the paintball community? I mean, having Kieran on tonight was pretty top level, like connecting with Kieran.
Yeah.
And then doing like charity work, giving back in various ways is always something that is memorable, and helping out.
Yeah, this one's tough for me, man, because I actually don't know the impact that I have on another person. I don't think most people do. You can like assume, but to me, that's kind of egotistical. I don't know. That's a strange question. I would rather, like I know the summer camp is a big thing that people really benefit from, and kids are leave, so excited and have connection there. And so like maybe that's one, but most memorable impact you have made on another person, young or old. I mean,
summer camps are huge. I mean,
having Kieran on, it was great. But I think it's more actually about like the impact that it has on us. there's these situations that have more of an impact on me than what I consider it has on those individuals. And I think I would love if the question was kind of framed a little differently, because really we're lucky. We're lucky that we've had these opportunities to be involved in the community and be able to be in a way a role model and set an example and use our responsibility or be responsible with our role as a professional athlete, which I've always said I admire professional athletes that understand their role, their position, and how they can influence others. But I don't necessarily know how I've influenced each individual. It's not something that I know. I haven't asked, or had these questions. I hope that it's in the right way, and I hope that we lead by example and we do a good job of it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. Yeah. Also,
Fab.
I gotta give major love to Capital Edge Paintball Park, because we did a huge charity event at the anniversary, and they do it every single year, and the proceeds go to the children's hospital in the area. So that's always something that's super memorable, and just anytime that we can give back to the youngsters and the kiddos and help out in any way, that's what we want to be doing.
Totally. All right. Actually, I was born for this. This was a great one. Do you guys have a memorable paintball Christmas gift as a kid or teen?
I mean, if we're talking when I was like super young, oh my God, rest in peace to the Green Ranger. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, I was definitely into the Power Rangers. And when I was like a young kid, I got the gloves, like the Power Ranger gloves that would make the swoosh sound, like the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. It must have been like 6 or 7. That was a life changer. You know what I mean? Running around the house,
totally.
karate chopping mom and dad.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I'll never forget. It was a blue dye jersey, and it was the first year that dye, or the second year that dye made their, so dye came out in 2001 with their first like actual jerseys. I have those old school Ironman jerseys you see. And then I remember the next year it was like streamlined, and I got a blue dye jersey with my name on the back and the number 7. It was my favorite number as a kid before I, took over my dad's number. But that to me is definitely the most memorable Christmas gift as a kid. My dad got it for me.
Dude, I love it.
Just, very special.
I love that. Do you have the jersey?
I do. Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
I'll pull it out sometime. Yeah, I for sure have it. Yeah.
We got to see that.
Yeah. Brother Vic has done everything he can to try to get that. I'm like, nope.
What? No way.
Yeah.
You got to leave that one alone. All right, we got Jay Stu. What are some of the minor details you are already doing to prepare to be even better next year?
So it's funny. I mean, each offseason, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for the offseason. Obviously, I went on my little Mexico vacation, did a bunch of booze in there and having a good time enjoying it. But it's weird. I'm like, I'm already excited for next season, whereas usually I like don't want anything to do with paintball in December. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's the travel for paintball. It's not paintball itself. It's like during the season, it's just for me, it's long flights every weekend, and the flights get so brutal. I just get so over. So December, I'm like, I'm staying home, not doing anything. This year's a little different. I'm excited for next season. So I'm doing a great job right now of being in the gym and just really trying to focus on being a better athlete next year. I shared this with the Discord. It's my goal is to be a better athlete next year. So I'm working on that. I probably won't play much paintball in December. I think the weekend before Christmas, I would like to try to get out on Sunday and just have a fun day. But other than that, there's not going to be much playing. And then in January, we'll start to ramp up and start, drilling and getting that stuff going and get ready for the year.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, dude. Like, I'm already in March. You know what I mean? Like, my head's already at event number 1. I'm already thinking of how I can be best prepared for that event, and making sure that the squad's hungry and everybody's ready to get after it. It's just too much fun. We're so blessed, and I mean, just the luckiest guys ever to be able to play this game at the highest level. And with the support that we have from our organizations, Heat has the greatest family, and I'm just super grateful for the squad, and we're excited to get after it and stay hungry and keep working hard through, December, January, February, rolling into the season here.
Totally. Second part of Osborne for this is question was for Christmas. Tom Cole gives you the ability to add one new rule and remove one existing rule from the NXL rulebook. Let's hear it.
I just want the shot clock. Take the towel and give me the shot clock.
Shot clock is dope. I would just make it 2 20-minute halves. Like, I don't think there's many rule changes. I think the league is great. It's fantastic. But let's make it 2 20-minute halves. Let's go back to OG X-Ball. I would fucking love that. That would be it.
And you know what that would lead to is having bigger teams again. Yeah, it would lead to bigger teams. Mm-hmm. And then you could nurture, because when we came into the pro circuit, the teams were larger. You could bring in a kid and teach 15. Him the ropes. Yeah, 100%. Huge teams.
And he's going to get points too. Because it's like,
get points.
It's 7 to, exactly. It's 7 to 6. And like, you need a rest. And so you put the kids in and they get experience.
That's right.
100%.
Yep. It nurtures the game big time. And I know that you got to get going. We have some more Discord questions. We'll probably dive into.
Yep.
You want to?
Okay,
let's rip into a couple.
Grab a couple more. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Am I up?
Yes.
All right. Let's see what we got. Thank you, Jay Stu, and thank you everybody. We got Welshie. Shout out to the Bunker Slug. Let's go with CM Harry. Who do you guys really want to talk to for the first time, and who would you like to bring back on that has not done a second show?
So if talk to for the first time, if we could get Joe Rogan or Elon Musk on the show, that'd be dope. That'd be my first timer for sure. Damn. And then bring on for a second show, Shane Pistana. I would love to have him back on, especially since I think he's going to be coaching the Ironman next year, or at least still part of the organization with Nikki. They might be doing some co-coaching. He was at the last couple events in the pits and being part of the team. I don't know what role he's going to have. So sorry if I misspoken. I mean, coaching, I know as of now, Nikki is the head coach there. She's done a fantastic job. She was actually out at Oliver's thing this last weekend as well. She crushed Skinny Kevin in the one-on-one thing. Love Skinny Kevin, coach of the year for sure. But Nikki had his number this year. So Shane Pistana for sure. For me, I love that man.
It's been so great seeing him around everywhere. I just like every time I see him, it just oh man, I just got the biggest smile. I give him the biggest hug. I'm like, Shaner, let's go.
Yes.
For me, I think I would want to have on. We haven't had Cassidy Sanders. I would love to have that episode. Oof. If we're talking inside the industry, Zach Long, Riley Sullivan, Kenny Rosenberg. Those are all shows that I want to see that we haven't had yet. And then for a returning guest, I mean, we got to run another 7-hour saga with Maddie. Yeah, at some point again.
Facts. 100%.
So
for sure.
Bring him back.
For sure. All right. Welshie 3304. Yo, T, who you guys going, or who would you want to bring out of retirement to play the Sunshine Major?
Damn. Out of retirement. That's a good question. I mean, I'm going to go with old Snapshot Sully. Bring him out. Snapshot Sullivan.
Oh, shit. Good move.
Riley Sullivan. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Or Josh Davey. Josh Davey's nasty too.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Dude, we got to ask. There's been like 3 separate questions about us playing against each other, so you got to ask.
Okay. We got to get in there. Yeah, rip into one of those. I can't find that one.
Okay, I just lost it.
There's a lot of questions tonight. Thank you all for tapping in on the Discord.
The Discord is amazing.
Shout out.
God, there was a really good one. Okay, it's from Todd Boyer. Shout out to Todd Boyer 24. Thank you, Todd, for being in the community. We love you, brother. How is it between you and UMM33 playing against T Harm? At the end of the day, it's all love. But if you can only shoot one player on Heat over and over, it would be Big T, right? So that question is directed towards me. I'm going to answer this, and then I'm going to ask another one that's I think is a little more philosophical. But the answer is yes. But the only reason is because I think he's the best player on the team, and it's a team of superstars. But I'm like, if I could shoot Tyler, if there's any chance that I could get him off the field, yeah, he's the one that I want off the field. Because anytime Tyler's still on the field, even if we have 3 bodies and it's a 1-on-3, I'm like, fuck, shit, what's gonna happen? Like, it's a problem. So yeah, it's Tyler. Yeah,
dude, I love you. And it's, whenever we are playing against each other, it's so much fun because we have such a unique relationship, being business partners, doing PTG, and then we go into competitive mode. So it's like this whole thing, and we ebb and flow through the whole entire process, but it's really fun,
I found the other question. Yeah, it's from Ben B2287. He says, has there ever been a time that the competition aspect of Houston Heat versus Dynasty has hurt or strayed y'all away from your friendship?
Never from our friendship, but definitely when competitions roll around, the energy is different. Like
it shifts 100%.
we're in competitive mode. It's like, I'm coming to get you.
It's so funny when we play against each other because, I mean, dude, you're just truly one of my best friends of all time. Like you're in my fucking top 3 out of people outside of paintball too. Like, love you to death. We're like walk on the field, and we always walk past each other when you're going to the gate. I'm like, good luck, bro. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk to him or don't talk to him. Fucking love you, Ty. There's always like these little moments where it's like, I love you, bro, but it's fucking on.
It's on.
It's on. It's on. It's on, motherfucker.
And the love is still there, like you said, best friends since we've been kids on this whole entire journey, and it'll always be that way. So nothing ever strays away from the friendship. That's first and foremost, but competition is competition.
It is. Big facts, dude. We've navigated it well, dude, because it's not an easy thing to do, and I actually don't think most people could do it. So it's been quite an adventure, and it's really a testament to our friendship, and I appreciate every part of how you've handled it and how we've been able to still be
stronger,
really closer than ever, actually. Yeah.
Through it all. Well, I think
all right, brother, one more question. I got to run. Unless I don't even know if there is another one.
Send it.
I didn't have one.
Okay. Let's go. I think, we've gone through a lot of these, and we'll continue to dive into these Discord questions. Thank you, everyone, for all the support, and we can't wait to see everyone at the GOAT meeting shortly, and we'll keep having fun.
Let's do it Wednesday night.
Booming out shows.
Us.
Yep. Let's
love
run
you guys.
Love you, PTG.
Peace.
Thank you. Peace.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys would like, head over to ptgpaintball.com. If you want to enter or join the GOAT meeting, you have a chance still. Go to ptgpaintball.com, click the Patreon link, sign up at the GOAT level, and you get access to not only the Discord, but then you will be invited to the secret GOAT meeting tonight, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. We have tons of awesome giveaways, and we always appreciate you guys so much. Also, our website is brought to you by Rusty Glaze at Concept Pursuit. If you guys need a website done, Rusty's your guy. Don't even think about it. He will do anything you need, always. So, love you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening, tuning in, and hanging out with us. And as always, we will see you very soon.